Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do it first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
Welcome, guys. H-Town, what's up? Guess who's in the building, baby? I got a surprise for you, of course, at the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour. Man, I'm on the ones and twos. You know, Haller is on location today working. Yours truly, Jim Hicks, is in the spot. We're going to do this thing. Chris Walker's going to be joining me shortly. Yeah, I know. Don't even ask me no questions. I don't like it, you know, but you know, if Haller make a bet, you know, I co-sign the loan. Gotta put this mess behind me. I'm gonna see. I see you guys out there. I see Doug Jones. What's going on, Big Doug? Dale Griggs, Trey Phillips, Sonia Billingsley, Kim Jackson, Corey Willis, my whole posse. I'm giving shout outs today to start the thing. Roy Wells. I should have wore black today for those Dodgers. We'll talk about the Dodgers later, Roy Wells. How about them Dodgers? That's what I should have been saying. We'll talk about them 0-2. Yo, ace. Anyway, how you doing? Gary Sinclair, Mindy Collins, how you doing, girl? Mate, Cora. We got a message from Chris Walker to you from this past weekend. I know you. Sharpen your scissors. That's all I can say. I got Trey Phillips, man. What's going on? Alfio in the house. Everybody, let's get know what I'm going to ask everybody to do. I'm going to ask everybody to just give me, let's all do a share on the show. Let's do a share, if you would. Just share the show to your timelines. Let's start this thing off right. I see Jeffrey Day in the boom boom room. I see Odyssey up in there. Sensei, you up in there. Jameson Morrow, Brandy Nickerson. Everybody's up in the building. We're going to get this thing rocking. Got so much to cover today. But, of course, first and foremost, yeah. Hey, so all I can say about Dallas Cowboys, guys, sometimes it is indeed better to be lucky than good. It's better to be lucky than good. They pulled off the win over New England, 35-29. Dak Prescott over 400 yards passing. He's earning his keep. He's getting it done. CeeDee Lamb has pretty much made everybody in Dallas forget about Dez. Even though Dez is 2.5, 3 years removed. Ezekiel Elliott, this may be the best 3-game stretch in a mighty long time for Ezekiel. He didn't get 100 yards this week. I think it was 17 carries, 69 yards, but he's averaging 4 yards a carry. That's the threshold for running backs. Can't say nothing about him right now. Can't say nothing. I mean, guess what? You're 5-1. You're kicking butt. You're winning. At the same time, you're beating teams you're supposed to beat. So don't get besides yourselves, Dallas Cowboys. Don't get besides yourselves right now. You know, I'd say, congratulations. Good win. Good win. I didn't watch the game. You know, we had a photo shoot, RCS Sports, for the front cover magazine. It was awesome. So those young men came out and some of their families, you know, to take in the experience. But you know, that's I didn't see it, but good win. Dallas is 5-1. Good shape right now. That division, of course, remains the weakest division in all of the NFC. But that's neither here nor there. I see. Now, that is Moody says, don't hate on the championship city that all of our professional teams have won championship. That would be Chicago. Chicago, the ladies won the WNBA championship. Candace Parker leading the way. And, good win. That's great. They've won one in every major sport. Talking about in the last, 50 years or whatever. The Bears, the Bulls, the soccer team won. The baseball team won. So Chicago, yeah, take that. Great win. It is really a great win for Chicago. It really is. And you know what? And Sonya, here's the thing. Dallas Cowboy fans, I gave you credit. I gave you props on the first third of the season. You're 5-1. Now here's the problem. It's 18 weeks. You're 6 weeks in. You're 5-1. So that's 1/3 of the season is over with. I've seen posts talking about Dak, Zeke, CeeDee Lamb. Now they're compatible. You're comparing them to Aikman, to Smith, and Michael Irvin. See, you're talking Super Bowl, but none of you guys, Cowboy fans, won't bet. You're talking it, but you won't bet. So that means you really don't feel it. You just and I really think Cowboy fans, you guys love being the antagonists? Do you love antagonizing the other fans? Because you're going to lose very soon. And just make sure you show up and take it. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Now, also this past weekend, Tampa Bay continues to roll. And Tom Brady, pretty good game, no interceptions, a good game for Tom Brady standards. We've seen him throwing over 500 and playing over 300 on the regular, but now he's 297. That's 300. Getting a W. 28-22, putting up points. They're having fun in Tampa Bay. Don't forget, Tampa Bay is in the same division that you are, Cowboys. Don't forget, your one loss is to Tampa Bay. Don't forget, Cowboys. And not to mention not to mention the Buccaneers. How about the Packers? Aaron Rodgers told everybody after week 1, relax. Relax. Not feeding into that. And Aaron Rodgers has really been snapping back, been capping, big time, talking smack, and kicking butt. Chicago Bears, 24-14 victims to the Packers on your Sunday. Aaron Rodgers, 17 for 23, 195, 2 touchdowns. Now, Buffalo Bills, they're on the tap tonight. Buffalo and Tennessee Titans. That's a pretty good Monday Night Football game tonight. Tennessee needs this win. Buffalo should get this win, but Tennessee is at home. They need this win. Tennessee can't lose to Buffalo tonight. All right? Also, back to Sunday. Rolling through some NBA talk. We're just doing to the chop shop. We're just rocking through some NBA talk. NFL talk. The Rams beat the Giants. It must be hard. Chris Walker lives in New York. He's in H-Town now, right? So, it must be hard living in New York. Your Giants, they're some garbage. The Jets, any Houston Texan fan, all you have to do is find a New York Jet fan and ask them, and you can probably get some skull therapy on how they cope. Just knowing you're not going to win anything. But you still go out and buy a Joe Namath jersey every doggone year. You still go out and buy and patronize the program. All right? And look at the results. Giants played the Cowboys tight, had everybody fired up in New York, and they get just cold cocked, 38-11 to the Rams. How about the Chiefs? Back to their winning ways, 31-13 over the Washington football team. I don't feel sorry for anything that happens on the losing end for the Washington football team. You guys, let me come up a little bit in the screen. Let me come up just a little bit. There we go. I don't feel sorry for anything that happens. I'm trying to cover up that dude behind me. But anything that happens to the Washington football team, I'm telling you, two wins is too many for them. Shout out to the Vikings. Yvette Machete. It's a good day for Minnesota fans. The Ravens. Well, I'm sorry, the Vikings scored 34-28 over the Panthers. The Ravens 34-6 over the Chargers. Both teams were 4-1 going into that game. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Lamar Jackson, I still don't think he's getting enough ink in what he's doing this season. I still don't think he's getting enough ink. They got on him for running the ball too much. Then he started throwing the ball more. Remember last time he set a record, I think a couple of weeks ago. You know, and last week was one of the first times all season that he did not lead the team in rushing. One of the very few times. I think Devontae Freeman had a pretty good game on the ground for them on yesterday. But, you know, and in the air, he just kept it calm. 19 for 27, 167 yards. Talking about Lamar Jackson. Threw 2 interceptions. Wasn't a good day at the office throwing the ball for him yesterday. But it was a blowout win. Blowout win over the Chargers. Justin Herbert was an MVP candidate. I'm talking about on the bell curve going into this past weekend. Lamar Jackson's crushed it. Because normally in a blowout, the quarterback on the losing end has to throw the ball late in the game. Fourth quarter, third quarter. Understand, the score was 27-6 going into the fourth quarter. So that means you're losing. You can't afford to do many running plays in the fourth quarter because the clock is going to run. So that was an opportunity for any quarterback that's getting blown out to pad his stats. Remember, Houston Texans fans, that's what David Carr did a whole lot when the Texans, when he first became the quarterback, and Texas would get T-rolled. He would be throwing those little screen passes. He would be throwing short routes, two-step drop. And they say, the numbers look good, but yeah, you didn't do that in the first quarter. But back to this, man, I'm really, really, really proud of how a lot of the black quarterbacks are faring. A lot of them. Some of them are experiencing, a little drama. But and I try to hold on to football a little bit, right? A little bit. And just until Chris Walker get up in there, right? Try to hold on to him a little bit. And there he goes right on cue, guys. C-Walk is in the building, has joined us. We're talking a little footballs, Chris Walker. And I got that mess behind me. You see it. I don't know how long it's gonna last up there, but I got it up there behind me.
I can't see myself on the screen, so I don't know if I'm on the screen or not.
You say you can't see yourself on the screen?
Today.
Okay.
No, I know you're the engineer today, so I can see myself side by side with you.
I mean the viewers can see you. You guys, can you see Chris Walker?
Let me take off my earphones. Hold on.
And can you guys see Chris Walker? Right? You should say something, Chris. You done muted yourself? We can't hear Chris. Now, guys, back, of course, Chris gonna come out and come back in. And meanwhile, can you guys hear me? That's the question right now, which I'm gonna ask first and foremost. I'm still trying to pop a wheel. I'm riding. I got a training wheel still on the bike. And as we're waiting on Chris to come on back to log back in, and he'll be coming in shortly. I was running through the NFL scores. We'll run through a couple more for you, and so we can get on and talk some more. We got a lot of topics to go. And, of course, we mentioned to you about the Ravens. The Cardinals continue to roll. They're undefeated this year. Another black quarterback getting it done, 37-14 over the Browns, right? And and I'm looking at some of the comments. They can hear me, but not as clear as you normally can. Right, so I just switched microphones. And what about now? Let me switch microphone. I want to make sure you guys. Talk to me now. Now, one more time. How can you guys hear me now? Is that better or not better than before? So we'll make sure we get this thing. All right, there we go. It's better. They say it's better. Voice is clear. There we go. Now we can rock then. I just want to make sure, guys. Remember now, bearing with me, my first time on the updated system of the Chop Shop. I've posted the show before in the past, but not on this new since the software has been updated. Of course, we're talking about the Cardinals and the Browns. Boy, Kyler Murray continues to amaze everyone. Kyler Murray continues to get it done. And if you're a Texan fan or were a Texan fan, you're looking at DeAndre Hopkins. He's getting it done. Don't forget, J.J. Watt is over there as well on that program. I'm marveled because this was a guy that people, a lot of teams, had slipped on and did not pick, and has proved everybody wrong. He's playing with house money for the next 2 years. Kyler Murray is. He's getting it done. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 20 for 30 in there, and totally demolished Baker Mayfield and his Cleveland Browns. So now, Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns, many people had picked to go to the Super Bowl. Right? And they're 3-3 right now. They're 3-3. So I'm here, you guys. I'm reading the comments. There's noise in the background. So it sounds like I'm in the restroom. That was somebody said something. And I think I don't have the earphones with me in reach to try to get it going. I don't know, something happened with C-Walk. I think because I was really good at first. And I don't know, that probably knocked everything off sync. But anyway, I'm not sold on Baker either, Kevin Freeman. I mean, I never was. Understand something. Here's the thing about this. When it comes to Cleveland Browns, I'm like this. When black quarterbacks come into the league, looking at Justin Fields, everybody in Chicago thought he was going to be the instant, just add water, get in there, and he just all of a sudden now Chicago Bears problems would be solved. You see, that ain't the case. So, but you're rooting for him to get it done. Just like you rooted for King Crableg when he was in Tampa Bay. You rooted for King Crableg to get it done. Didn't happen. So now, just like you root for a lot, we root for a lot of our black quarterbacks, right? They root for a lot of their white quarterbacks in the same fashion. So I can't, Baker Mayfield has not convinced me based on the problems that came along with him. Remember now, all of the antics that he done on the sidelines with Oklahoma, in-game acting, off the field, and they just, you know how it is, when you like somebody that much, you'll just discount it. You come into the league, you put people around him, put star-studded receivers around him, still don't get it done. One gets hurt, Odell Beckham, oh, that's an excuse. Then another one has drug problems, that's an excuse. So now you got the full allotment. You're 3-3.
How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
You know what?
Say it again. How about them Cowboys?
Let me
Yo, man, never in doubt. Never in doubt. Okay? Kevin Freeman, you ran from me yesterday. Supposed to come see me at my mama's crib, and you ran. Because you didn't want to, you know I was going to beat you up, light skin. He knew it was going to happen. Them light skinned dudes always running. I'm just what it is, man. God. Stephon Diggs get the pick six. Yo, here's the deal. They say we can't hear me. Jimmy, you gotta get the mechanics together, man. We got a rookie on the mic today, man. Jimmy on the mic. You have to bear with us, man.
Yeah, Now say something else, C-Walk.
I said, how about them Cowboys, man?
Yeah, they should be able to hear you now. And I'm just trying
Can they hear me?
They should be able to hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know if they can hear me or not, man. But dang, because if I got to repeat all this all over again. Can anybody hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, they should be able to.
You might be solo if they can hear me.
Check your Bluetooth and make sure it's off or whatnot, because they're having an echo, and I don't have the cords in order to stop it on this end.
There's an echo. Yeah, I just turned my Bluetooth off. Hold on, I just turned it off.
Yeah, turn
your echo, and I can hear you talking with echo as well. Say cut the mic down.
Yeah, just did that. And I am rolling out of the built-in mic. So that's the thing. I'm not even rolling out of the iRead.
Anyway, I want to think if they can hear me now. If y'all can hear me now, America's team played the fake America's team yesterday. Can y'all hear that? Yes or no? Yes, sir. I know you hear it. And you see my boy CD from Richmond. Can they hear that? Can they hear that? H-Town represents. Can you hear that? Golly, come on, man. It's crazy, man. Everybody mad. Listen, man. Listen. Did you play the video? Oh, you didn't play. You don't have the video. You can't play the video. Because you know what the video said?
Dude.
Everybody is quiet. Everybody quiet.
Did any of y'all see that? Did any of y'all see that video? And bear with me, guys. I'm going through some stuff to try to clear up. I'm trying to clear up these.
They're not quiet, are they, Jimmy? They're not quiet. Every weekend, this is what is going to happen. Man, I can't believe I sound muff. This is the day I really want to go in. I'm so crunk right now. Oh, my God. That was such an emotional roller coaster yesterday. Mike McCarthy, the reason why we're not going to win the Super Bowl is because of the coach. I'm convinced of that. Dak had money on the game yesterday. Fumble at the goal line, threw a touchdown in the red zone. We should have 50 yesterday. Dak had money on the game. It is what it is, okay? But everybody's quiet. Ooh, I love it. It was a matter of time, man. And that fake Super Bowl, the fake Sixburg, they should have won last night. I mean, Geno Smith, terrible, man. I know you the black quarterback, man, but he's awful, man. I mean, that's crazy, man. Pittsburgh's terrible. But anyway, can everybody hear me, man? Because I'm going to sing my song if y'all can hear me. Because everybody's quiet. Yo, man,
I'm gonna go down and give it to him.
They say I sound like a robot, man.
I mean, I think different people are getting different sounds from you. Some people is okay. Some people, a couple of people, you're saying that.
Maytay got that maybe. That's
you know what? Your sound probably sound too. What did you? Hold on 1 second. I just want to get this. I'm gonna get this to you guys right now. I think I know how to get this right. Watch this.
Deacon Jones, have you noticed that the haters awfully?
Why?
Exactly, I ain't got one call.
Why?
Nobody asked, am I still the boy? Why they acting like this?
Why?
They always got something to say, now they. Crickets are everywhere.
Why?
Somebody needs to call.
Is it quiet on this phone? I ain't heard from nobody in a while.
Oh, you need to let them know.
Where did they go? I don't know. But we been whooping that for sure. That's for sure. It's been quiet.
Not one phone call.
I ain't heard from nobody in a while.
Let them know, Deacon. Let them know.
Where did they go? I don't know, but the Cowboys been whooping that for sure. That's for sure. It's been quiet.
I mean, ain't nobody called me Deacon. Nobody.
Quiet.
Super.
Quiet.
Can you please check and see if I still got service?
So quiet. Quiet.
Only folk I can get in touch with are the church members.
Quiet. Y'all ain't had nothing to say.
Say, man. And you sitting there, dude, have your fun. You just, dude, I just need you to just keep that same energy.
Sound working, please. That same energy. What energy? What energy I got? What you talking about?
After the next loss. After the next loss.
Man. Kenny Gamble represent, baby. Let them know. Come on, man.
Say, now, what did you say about Maytay this past weekend?
Hey, Jimmy.
We was watching. No. We was watching the game. We watching the Astros. What did you say about Maytay this week? What did you say when you get on Monday? What you say you gonna say?
What's that?
you were talking about Maytay this weekend. You said that you would recap. We were watching Astros the other night, and you was like, you said you had some choice words.
Listen, we put an invitation out there for people to show up. They want to show up. The deal with the chop shop was almost a threesome now. All three of us they got three the hard way, and then people started just ducking off. Kevin Freeman being one of them. Light-skinned dudes, you always buy when it gets tough because you don't want to get too dark. You're afraid of the sun. So Kevin Freeman was one of them. Oh, the traffic. Negro, you live in Houston, of course it's traffic. And that's what happens. Dudes get scared. Twitter, they say, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers like Drake. Y'all got them fingers over here. But we tell you to when the light come here, I'm believing they quiet. I love it, man. I love it. The Red Sox beat the brakes off the Astros. I mean, come on, man. How many toothpicks did Justin eat the other day? How many toothpicks? 8 of them? 2 brands. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's over, man. For the Dodgers, man, I don't know what happened to them. And Dave Roberts is disappointing me this year, but with these pitching decisions. But at the end of the day, no pitcher is lasting more than 4 innings. That's crazy. No pitcher in any of these. They said the average is 4 innings, 4.5 innings that pitchers are lasting. That's how much strategy is being employed right now. The one thing that kills me about baseball, and I'm gonna go run from that in a minute, is that I got that dial up in there. Is that the shifting of the field? We were talking about that watching the game, and these guys, the analytics are so sharp. The shifting of the field. Guys are just, it just sounds crazy. People keep saying I sound like a robot, Jimmy. I don't know what you're going to do with the sound, man. I can't help y'all guys. I'm sorry. I'm not the engineer. But I know what the analytics can't get around that. Quiet. Can y'all hear that? I sound like T-Pain, don't you? Quiet. Keep it in. Hey, keep it quiet. Yo, is this the Chop Shop or the Cowboy Show? Cowboy Ketchup Show on Monday. That's why I want to know what this is. Because, that background is crazy, man. Look at CD, man. And then how about Mills? They threw Mills, pushed him out of bounds. He should have thrown the football right in his face and got an unsportsmanlike conduct. That was ridiculous, man. It's over with, man. Keep it done. Keep that same energy, Jimmy. Jimmy, listen, I know you was watching. I know you were watching. Y'all can't help it, man. Y'all gonna have to endure this Cowboy stuff every single Monday. And guess what? I got a little surprise for you. You don't have to worry about it next Monday. You know why? Because we off. We off. And then guess when we come back, we're going to play the awful Minnesota Vikings, Yvette. And we're going to tear that head off to Sunday Night in America. Football Night in America, they playing the Cowboys. Quiet. Hey, Hatter, help him out, man. Hatter on the feed right now. That poor Jimmy ought to get the sound right because, man. Anyway, what you got for me, Jimmy? Tomorrow. Guess who coming back tomorrow? LeBron. The Bron sexuals are about to unite. It's about to happen all over again. The Lake Show is about to come back. And here's the thing, the parallel that you guys don't see. The Cowboys, how many preseason games the Cowboys win, Jim? None. They didn't win a preseason game.
Lost to the Texans.
And look what's happening right now. How many preseason games did the Lakers win? They went 0-6. And then watch what happened tomorrow night. Guess what everybody's going to be after tomorrow night? Quiet. I'm just telling you, dog. This is the year of them dudes. The Yankees let us down. I'm done with the Yankees. The Cowboys?
Are you done with the Dodgers? How about the Dodgers? Are you done with the Dodgers? Where's that at? How's Mookie doing right now? How's Max doing right now? How's everything going? You know what's so funny? The guy that you traded for Mookie is outplaying Mookie in the postseason right now. Kiki Hernandez for Boston.
Come on, man. That's not what's happening, man. That's not why they're losing, man. They get bad pitching decisions. They lost by one run. They lost by one run twice. Walk-offs in 2 games. Come on, man. But they got to go back to the ravine. They going to the ravine, baby. In LA, and they got a 3-piece in the ravine. They're gonna win all 3, and they just got to go back and take care of business in Atlanta. Just stay out of Lenox Mall, because y'all know, y'all black folks know what's in Lenox Mall. Just make sure they stay up out of there, because ain't nothing but distractions up in there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but distractions. But the Lake Show, baby, the Lake Show with Mello, they're gonna be. I mean, dude, can you imagine having seats tomorrow, the feet on the wood at that spot tomorrow? Oh my goodness, it's gonna be on fire. It's gonna be on fire. The NBA is back. Shout out to the Sky. They took care of business. Brittany Griner must have been out partying too much, Jimmy. What you think? Was she out there in the club or something? I mean, what was Brittany Griner out there doing? I mean, man. Chicago Sky, Thaddeus Moody, I know you're happy. Chicago finally won something since Michael Jordan left. Okay, the Cubs won something, and maybe the Blackhawks won something. I ain't gonna go there, but the Chicago Sky, shout out to them. That was an exciting series. And I, you know, what's the girl that's on? What's her name? I was gonna say Shamika Holzclaw, but the first girl to have will be on the cover of NBA. What?
Talking about Candace
What's
Parker.
it called? The NBA? Candace Parker. I like Candace Parker. I like Candace Parker. I like him. Morris, tell him, Morris. Tell him, Morris. Them Cowboys. Morris, tell him. But Morris, stay quiet.
Dude, that's
Yo, man, why? Here's what I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. Real talk. Why does everybody hate the Cowboys? I don't get it. I don't understand, especially these knuckleheads from Texas. Why do you hate the Cowboys so much? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all are like Robert Hatter. And because Hatter's not on here to defend himself, I'm going to tear his head off the bone. Y'all fake is I don't know what because you used to be Cowboy fans. We will bring you back. You can come home. You can come home. Come on back. There's room on this bus. Come on back. There's room on the train. Come on back. We'll take you back. Only for this year only, though. Because it's about to be another dynasty now. It's about to be another dynasty, but you can come back. Sonya Billingsley, when we get to 1,000, I'll see you then. Right now, I'm not listening to you. You can come back. Come on back on there, man. Corey, come on, man. Corey, come on. You can hang out with us. Tell him, Kelton. Y'all, hey, Morris, we ain't sneaking in the side door. We breaking it down, man. We coming with the stars. Put your heart and your car in the hands of the man that wears the star. That's all I'm saying. We coming. I mean, play again, Jimmy. Play that song.
oh man. Hey, Ella, you got to watch this, man. Watch this right here.
Come on, man.
Hey, and this guy, he's from Houston, Texas.
Went to Lee High School.
He went to Robert E. Lee High School. He works in the barber shop in H-Town. And this is the video that he's put out. And he has people like Chris Walker just going berserk this morning. Check this out right here.
This shit is getting ridiculous. Quiet. Oh, it been quiet on this phone. I ain't heard from nobody in a while. Where did they go? I don't know. But the Cowboys been whooping down the show. Quiet. Quiet. Kobe ran off the way. Quiet.
Oh man, that's it.
Call me. Where they at, man? Quiet. Dog, I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
Oh man.
Y'all something else, man. Unbelievable, man. Hey, by the way, buddy, I read something. I sent it to you and Heather. Cam Newton. Remember, I don't know, is it Marissa that we always say? Well, Marissa, is it so easy? What's the line? He went and got vaccinated. Ben Simmons, guess what he did? He took his butt back to Philly. Guess what my man at Golden State did? Got vaccinated. When they start tapping your bread, guess what you do? Fall in line. Jimmy, follow the what? Follow the money. Follow the money. Fall right in line, didn't he? I'm vaccinated. Come get me. You know you're talking to the Texans. You know you're talking to the Texans. Vaccinated, come get me. All that messy talk. You should just got the same with Kyrie. At some point, gonna fall in line.
So now, Cam Newton has claimed he's been vaccinated, which is no reason to believe that he hasn't. Now, so what team? What do you see happening now? Because now the excuse has been eliminated, and you're talking the NFL right now. We're at the 1/3 mark of the season, meaning 18 weeks in the season. We just completed week number 6. So that's the thing. Who can you see because if you're taking Cam Newton, you're not taking him for the future. You're taking him for the now. So that means somebody that say for example like the Texans, they have no playoff aspirations right now. You're playing for the future with them right now. So Cam Newton does the Texans zero good. Ditto for Jacksonville right now. So Chris, what team? What's the?
How about the Dolphins? How about the Dolphins?
The Dolphins have the same record the Texans does.
I'm just saying. Listen, man, it's not gonna be someone that's good, bro.
No, it's got to be somebody that's right there that has a chance to make the playoffs. And that way Cam can use his postseason expertise to take them on through. So that's the thing you think about.
Hold on. Think about the Cowboys. The Texans. What quarterback do they have? The Dolphins. They got Jacoby Brissett. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be someone. Listen, you just made a point. There's only a third of the season that has passed up. That has been eclipsed already. Man, that means they got like what? 13 more games? Come on, man. That's a lot of people paying money every weekend to see a team. Actually, half of those are home games. Some of those people want respect. What they should do is get him in New York. That's what they should do, or Washington. New York or Washington. By the way, we 3 games up in the NFC East. Y'all quiet. Remember, Alex? I looked at the schedule. Each one of those teams, I only like Philly just because of Jalen Hurts. If they all lose next week, we'll be 4 games up. That division's already won already. We focused on bigger things like the Cardinals. The Buccaneers stole a win from us because we should be 6-0, by the way. We should be 6-0. It's 5-1 with an asterisk because the NFL came out and said they should have made that call, which would have negated Tom Brady. It would have negated Tom Brady, man. Hey, man, you know what? I watched something. I don't know if anybody ever watched this. I watched something this weekend. It was called Better with Age, and it was on Drew Bledsoe. I don't know if you've seen it with Jeremy Schaap, and it talked about what happened and how gangster Bill Belichick was, and when he put in Tom Brady and he told Drew Bledsoe he would get his job back, and it talked about how everywhere he went after that, they did the same thing to him. They promised him he's going to get a spot, and they brought in a younger guy. They did it. The Big Tuna brought him to Dallas, and then guess who emerged out of that? Tony Romo. They took him. I think another place they took him, and they took him to Buffalo, and they brought a player in, and that dude ended up being a bust. But Drew Bledsoe at that time, I think when he finished, he was top 13 all time in passing. He brought the Patriots from obscurity to somewhat relevant to the point where Tom Brady could take him to a Super Bowl. But man, that was a great. If somebody have a chance to watch Better with Age, man, to talk about how bitter they were, how bitter the wife was, how bitter the mom and the pop still are to this day. And he transcended his career, and then he went and starts making wine and bought a vineyard. He's got a huge vineyard, top 50 wine in the country, in the world. And but it was great to hear him talk about the way he handled it, and it was the greatest player, the greatest football player ever. Like if there's anybody you're going to be eclipsed by, it's going to be that guy. But it was a good little old piece. And then, but I digress. And when you talk about the freaking Cowboys and you talk about the Patriots, come on, man. Dude, like honestly, I'm gonna ask the boom room, right? Do you really see the Cowboys now? The Super Bowl is going through Arlington. Y'all understand that? Pack your bag, all y'all down in H-Town. Get that ride up 45. Don't they got the little mega bus, $5 mega bus? You can make sure you can get your drink, get your $5 mega bus, get you down to Arlington. You ain't got to go in the game, man. Just hang out over in Uptown or something like that. Go to Nick and Sam's, get you a steak, and watch them Cowboys, because that's that little spot that Dak like to go to. And then when they win again, watch everybody get quiet, because in H-Town ain't nothing gonna happen in basketball, ain't nothing gonna happen in football. Y'all got a chance of something happening in baseball. That's all I'm saying. Because football, you can forget it for this season. You might as well let the Katy Tigers go out there and play. Right now, you might as well let Katy go out there and play, or North Shore. Don't let them play on Sunday, and then let the Texas team play during the week at the high school game. That's the best chance y'all got. And Yvette, I'm telling you right now, them Vikings, whatever they call them, little pirates, we gonna beat up on them pirates come 2 weeks from now. Kirk, your auntie, is it Kirk Cousins or Kirk Nephew? We gonna kill Kirk Nephew. Them Cowboys. Listen, tell everybody it's quiet. Ain't nobody calling my phone. You want to put my number up there? It's quiet. Boy. 5-1, baby. Come on, man. Talk to me, Jimmy. Talk to me.
Man.
Hey, you had the photo shoot this weekend. How'd that go?
Yeah, the photo shoot. I mean, I mentioned it earlier at the top of the show on the Chop Shop for the magazine, and you guys know we didn't do one last year because of COVID. This is what it looks like, the front cover of the magazine from 2 years ago, and that's
that's Tremont Mark on there.
Yeah, it was Tremont Mark.
That's the next superstar right there out of the city. Tremont Mark. Trust me, that's the next dude. He's gonna be in the draft either this year or next year. Y'all heard it first. Lil Tremont.
Oh, really? I mean, the thing about the front cover, and we'll talk basketball, some NBA basketball in just a second, but that we normally put about 7 or 8 of the top players in the area on the front cover of the magazine. And one thing about this year's front cover is we've been doing the magazine since 2004, and I'm gonna give you guys a stat. Since 2004, the first cover didn't have an all-city team. It was the theme of that one. So aside from the very first one, it didn't have an all-city. I think after then, 2002, 2005, we started doing all-city teams. The first team of it. This is the first time that of all the players that are on the front cover, none of them played the past summer on the same, none of them ended the summer with the same as teammates, put it like that, of grassroots basketball. Let me clean it up.
They were on the same sneaker team.
They period. No matter what team you played with. In other words, we had 7 guys that's going to be on the front cover. All 7 finished the circuit and played in July on different teams. They were not teammates. That's the first time that that's ever happened. And so that, in other words, it gives 7 different grassroots coaches a chance to rejoice or to be proud, And I was glad because this is one of the first time in a long time. In yesterday's photo shoot, there was not one diva in the group. I watched those guys mingle with each other, and they were really. Let me tell you what it felt like from afar. It felt like, and I'm good at evaluating people. It felt like, and it sounded like watching these young boys when they talked amongst each other, that they were so glad to see each other, and now they don't have to worry about some grown-up tried to make them hate each other because they didn't play on the same grassroots team or circuit, and they were and then especially a couple of 12th graders, they felt like free and clear. They don't have to worry about recruitment no more. They're about to sign their letters of intent on the second Wednesday of November, and it was just a good atmosphere. It really, really was on yesterday. So give a shout out to all those young men for coming in and showing up and taking part in the photo shoot. Of course, our photographer, Roderick Haynes, he's been doing our photos for over 15 years with the magazine. And of course, Sandra does a lot of the layout and stuff. And Doug Jones does a lot of the articles and the sections. Jeffrey Day is going to be contributing with the district previews in the Class 6A this year. Even Kim Williams came out. A lot of people that Stretch's mom. She even showed up. They had a couple of people that wasn't even part of the photo shoot showed up on yesterday. Kim showed up, and Kim, last issue, the most important part of the magazine to me is the section where we publish a lot of corporations who are giving out scholarship money. And all you have to do is basically just follow the script. And you follow the script and go with it. And fill out the stuff and get that, and you can get thousands upon thousands of grant money. We're gonna produce at least 25 different scholarships that will be available for the community. It ain't just one. It's not like you apply and get this one. Just say some corporation might be giving out $1 million. You can go and get some of that million. You know, and that's the most important part of the book, because once again, Chris, you already gave the numbers on the amount of people, the amount of players in the greater Houston area who get Division I basketball scholarships, full rides. That number there is right now, it's decreased to under 30. You're talking about 26 to 30. In the past 2 years, this year we probably would barely touch 20.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
Transfer portal.
And that's the reason. And why is that? Explain that to, once again, why do you say transfer portal?
Because they're taking less freshmen. People are taking less chances. They're trying to win right away. And it's in vogue right now. It's the hot thing. I know teams are scrimmaging right now, and I know a couple of teams. I've watched their tapes. I've watched their scrimmages, give them some feedback on what I think about their teams. And a lot of those, and the funny thing is, I don't even want to say what teams, a couple teams I watched, some of those guys that they brought in from the transfer portal, they can't stand them. They think they can't play. You don't like them. And I'm like, but it's the gamble that you get, but they'd rather have a junior or a senior than have a freshman coming in and compete who probably won't play anyway unless he's an elite player. So it's getting harder and harder, and plus guys are taking JUCO. JUCOs became sexy again. Point I want to bring up too, and we can talk about the Colin Powell thing in a little bit, but Kenneth asked me what's the name of that song. Kenneth, the name of that song is that's the name of that song. But the NCAA is now, what have they done? They've eradicated they're trying to say, hey, you know what, you don't have to take, they're getting rid of the minimum score, right? So if people don't know what a sliding scale is, right, for years, John Thompson, I want to say Nolan Richardson, and John Chaney, God rest their soul. I think Nolan's definitely still alive, and so is George Raveling. I call those guys the Mount Rushmore of black college basketball, especially in the Division I world. They fought for the sliding scale. That was the way that black kids were not given scholarships. And then so some hatter text me said, "What do you think about this? To get around the minimum score." Here's my conspiracy theorist mind going to work. There's a lot of competition right now, and here's the thing that again, it bothers me. You don't have to share my opinion. Your opinion can be your own. Here's my opinion. Being in that business for a long time. No one rises to low expectations. You've heard me say that time and time again. No one rises to low expectations, right? When back in the day, Jimmy, you remember this, kids were not making the SAT. JUCO was popping. Kids couldn't make it. If you got a 7.0, all you have, what a sliding scale means, if you get a 700, which is the minimum, right? Most times, as most colleges would take, if you got a 3.0, all you had to get was a 700. 3.0 or higher, 700 is what you had to get. And as you start, your GPA starts dipping lower and lower, 710, 720, 730, 740, that's what you had to get on the SAT. So it's like a little yo-yo or a seesaw. After a while, people start figuring that out. Kids start getting smarter. They start taking prep classes. Gone by the ways of the dodo bird was getting people to go in and take the test for you. Remember, Jimmy, people used to do that. They'd have somebody come in.
They call them pinch hitters.
A pinch hitter and come in and take the test for you, like all kind of nonsense. That's going to be in a show we got coming out, but that's a whole nother conversation. Pinch hitters going in, taking tests for people. I know, I have a history. I know exactly how all that works. I even had one time, I remember a coach telling me, I'm not going to tell you who it is, he had a pinch hitter come in and the pinch hitter didn't show up. And they paid the pinch hitter wouldn't go from him. And that was the last test that could be taken. So there's all types of stories about that kind of stuff. point being is what we're up against right now. Dare I say, kids today, right? Kids today don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to school. They do not want to go to school. They don't want to go to college. Jimmy, check the audio again. I see Sensei saying that they're hearing double. I don't know why. But kids don't want to go to college. They don't. I don't get it. I don't understand why we're
afraid to go to school.
Had somebody tell me yesterday, during the pandemic, they watched a lot of African American movies, shows, documentaries, docu-series, and it just depressed them. They either learned a lot, right, or they were seriously depressed. Okay, because it's like, man, I'm just tired of seeing this stuff. I'm tired of seeing what we had to go through to get to where we are, right? And I tell people, well, if you don't know the past, you continue to repeat it. We've heard that adage all the time. So kids don't know what African Americans had to do to get to where they are. So yet they keep saying, I don't want to go to school. I want to be a rapper. I don't want to go to school. I want to, hang out on the streets, or I want to do X, Y, and Z. They don't know what people had to do that look like us to even get us to a situation where they can even feel comfortable saying stuff like that. I don't see color, or we don't need critical race theory in schools, right? My thing is this, whatever your opinion is, the NCAA sees stuff like overtime, and kids that go to overtime, some of those kids, guess what they say? Man, I'm gonna be a pro, man. I don't want to go to school, man. School's not for me. If I had one more black kid say something like that, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. School is not for me. Now, again, does that mean that Chris Walker's saying if you don't go to school, you won't be successful in life? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when people say school is not for me, and let's rewind back 50 years, 60 years, they wouldn't allow us to be educated. Right? When we couldn't go to certain schools because of the color of our skin, or we couldn't get the same books, we didn't get the same funding, right? Dilapidated schools, that's even happening in Brownsville, Brooklyn, in South Central LA, and now in Houston, they're trying to revamp the schools. Think about when you hear kids say, school's not for me. How about learning, education? Now, you can say, well, it's what they're teaching them, and it's not. Math is not for me. Science is not for me. And the NCAA is saying, well, we're going to get rid of the minimum requirement because we think it's, I don't want to say racist, but we think that it bears down on people of color. And what I say is, man, I think we need, now, you can say the SAT is this, the SAT is that. It's not a barometer of learning. It's not a barometer for who can learn what. But do you think for 2 seconds that they're going to get rid of the minimum? Right? And that's going to get more kids in the school. That's what people are thinking. Why get rid of the minimum? Because you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make college sexy again, Jimmy. NIL, make college sexy. Let's get rid of the minimum. Make college sexy again. Because overtime is saying we're just going to pay these dudes. And we were talking the other night at dinner, Jimmy, right? We were talking tonight. We said, well, let me ask you a question. What if they don't get along with the coach? And they want to leave? Right? You tell me, Jim. Let's say you don't. If you're gonna leave, if you leave AAU teams, you leave high school teams, you leave overtime too. But because you're getting paid, but you won't leave. What if you never play? So if you never play, you're not gonna. You're probably not going to the NBA because all of them aren't going to the NBA. Maybe like 1% of them will. Last one I'll make is Jim. How many of those kids really? They say they have $100,000. And I know Matt Burdan is listening to the Chop Shop and people from overtime. And I'm just using overtime because they're the model. It is what it is. This is what we do in the Chop Shop. How many of those kids do you really believe that if things don't work out for them, will go to school? When they're not wanting to go to school is the reason why most of them are going there. I don't want to go to traditional school. I don't want to do this. At the end of the day, the question I'm putting out there, and if people want to be completely honest, do you believe that black kids are resistant to learning that play sports because they believe that that's their portal out of reality? To me, it's not real world thinking. And if people believe that, they haven't been on a college campus. They haven't been on a college campus. They don't understand that. And so the transfer portal is another reason.
I'm
I'm just telling you, transfer portal is another reason. Dudes will leave it, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Hey, man, no matter what, you gotta go to school wherever you go. TSU still gotta go to class. TSU. I'll tell you about my Uber experience at TSU guy. I'll throw the mic to you in a minute, man. But the TSU guy and what he told me about, you guys not giving money, and he told me about black folks and giving to HBCUs. It was very interesting. Why are we still getting double feedback, Jim? I turned my volume down. I don't have my Bluetooth connected.
Oh no, I've changed. I've cut the volume down and just the mics. I think I'm asking for some folks to go, if you're getting it on your end, to go out and come back in. Because everybody's not getting it. Some people are. So it may just be, that could be the case. Not sure. So just
because I'm not connected. I'll turn my phone off, but I'm not connected. I'll turn my phone off, but I'm not connected and my Bluetooth's off. Nevertheless, I don't know. I'm gonna go out and come back in. You know what I'm saying? And see if that'll work.
And of course, when Chris is going out, what we are going to do is we're going to do something else and pay a quick bill for you guys. And you guys hang tight right now. Oops. Let's go and pay another bill right now.
How are you going to be on the stage? How are you going to get from off the bench to on the floor? If you love basketball, you got to be passionate about what you do. You can't just play just to play.
If you really want it, you'll need to make sacrifices. You'll face doubt. You will fail. Whether or not you succeed, that choice is yours.
H-Town, let's get down at the Aldine ISD M.O. Campbell Center. High school boys basketball season opener powered by Boost Mobile. November 12th and 13th, 12 games in 2 days, including the Shadow Creek Sharks, will battle the nation's #1 ranked public school, the Duncanville Panthers. Undefeated state champ Beaumont United will take on Cy Ranch. November 12th and 13th at the M.O. Campbell Center, the season opener powered by Boost Mobile. For schedule and $10 tickets, go to rcsports.com.
And trying to get all right, and let's get Chris in here right now. And there we go, back on the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour. We are officially on the back nine. We'd like for you guys to share the show right now. Share the show to your timelines, to your groups. If you're on YouTube, share it to your social media accounts. And you were breaking stuff down, and a lot of people, you were talking about as your experience, of course, as a college coach. And for Chris, many people, everybody doesn't watch and doesn't hear at every moment. Take them through what is your basketball, college coaching, your basketball resume. From where did you play your high school, your college, where did you coach at? Take us through all of that, all of the timeline of that. So that way now when you talk and engage in this particular topic, it may have an added value to most. Because then there's a value of understanding from where your experience, from where this stuff is coming from. So, your high school.
Again, obviously not to be braggadocious, is that the word? Or braggart. Played at Milby High School, All-American, went to Villanova, played in the Great Big East with Sherman Douglas, Alonzo, Dikembe, you name it, Derek Coleman. Cheap Millie. That's just so funny. Then on after Villanova, coached in college 20 plus years. LMU, Pepperdine, Villanova twice, New Mexico with Steve Alford had some great years. Texas Tech was the head coach at Texas Tech, coached at Cal Berkeley as well, and even at UMass with Caliparios. So I coached all over the country, grassroots with Adidas, grassroots with Under Armour, and again now at CBS as a broadcaster and been on ESPN and radio shows. Obviously like the Chop Shop and my own stuff. So been around a very long time, seen basketball, consult for finance companies that help athletes, agencies, have seen the basketball from every single angle that you can see it from. And when I make these comments, I don't talk about things that I don't know. There are things that I do not know about this business, but there are things that I do know. And what I do know is that there are a lot of people out there that are just engaged in fantasy. And again, it's not dream killing. I'm not trying to kill people's dreams. What I'm trying to tell people is you got to learn how to pivot. And when you have a kid and it comes to sports, I haven't had my own kids, but I've raised a lot of kids in college sports. I've helped a lot of parents, and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of the parents that allowed me to come into their lives and help them and use my expertise. And I've had summer teams where, I've had some amazing summer teams, and all my kids, every last one of my kids, maybe except one, even my Chris Walker caddy when I had my own high school and all that fuss around that, 7 kids played Division I basketball. It's all about me providing, giving kids, doing everything I can to provide them with an opportunity. Now, comes with that is a lot of know-how. Everybody's not going to be smart like me and know all of the ways around it, know the nicks and crannies and how to protect them, how to help them, how to talk to the coach, how to promote them. It's very difficult. I tell parents it's very difficult, you know? And there's a lot of things, I got to go through a lot of links sometimes to help some kids that no one would know. If you're a parent, you're no match for a college coach. Remember, I was saying that this weekend, you're no match for a college coach. You think you got it all figured out, you're no match for them. It's just no way. You don't match for them. You can just tell them you don't want to deal with them, but you're no match for them. And so my thing is, when it comes to this, you need to get some people that you can trust, that know the process. That know the process. When I tell you, these dudes are stupid. When I tell you that there are 20 kids in the third largest city in America getting a basketball scholarship to Division I. To Division I. You don't understand the odds. You don't understand the odds. You can run around on a summer program all you want. You can say you're on the EYBL. You can say your high school team is here. You don't understand the odds. And when a college coach comes to town, the first person he calls is Jim Hicks. And you got to understand the way Houston is laid out, that if your school, am I fine, Jimmy, is not on a certain geographical timeline, or if it's not in a certain area of town, that coach probably got one day to be in town, it's very difficult to see kids in Texas, in Houston, because Houston's so damn big. So they need someone, they need a guide. So if your kid is in Cyprus, right? And the coach, the primary player he came to see is in Port Arthur, it's a good chance he won't see your kid play or see him practice. It's just how it works. If he's in Pearland, right? And you got to understand rush hour traffic in Houston, and then people have the period where they play basketball, right, Jimmy? They all got the same period used at the same time. Then he maybe only see one practice one day, and he's probably going to end up at Bijou or the Lock Bar, something there for dinner over there at State 48. Because of traffic, it is impossible to see all these kids. That's what it is. That's why they need the Jimmy Hicks, Jeremy Days, and Doug Jones. That's why it works that way. That's why these guys are paid, and other guys, I'm sure. But my point is that if you don't understand the rules of the game, you're gonna get eaten up. It's not dream killing. You gotta understand how the game goes. Being in a tournament where college coaches are there is not the same as being in a tournament where college coaches are watching your kid. And I've said this before. If college coaches aren't calling you and coming to see you personally, you're not being recruited. Your kid out there playing, you're spending money on it, but you're not being recruited. That's just how it works. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't. When people talk about it, it's just they got to understand how it works. I want parents to get it. Like stop the make believe stuff. And I was talking to my, my brother, Jimmy, his little son was playing. You watched him, and then we were at the house watching the Cowboy game last night. I'm talking about my own family. I say, hey, man, so what's happening? He plays. I think he plays at Atascocita. I said to him, well, what are y'all doing? He said, well, again, everybody got to answer. Well, he's coming off. I say, no, I didn't ask you what his status was. What are you doing to help him get recruited? Because just playing is not enough. That's hundreds of thousands of kids out there trying to get the same thing. So what are you doing? Well, we put something on his Twitter. I'm like, okay, well, who's supposed to know? Don't nobody know who he is. So how's that? I don't get it. What do you mean? You put something on his Twitter? Like, tell me how that works. Like, I'm trying to figure that out. So what I would do is, again, so I'm close to Jimmy Hicks. What you should do is like, hey, Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you tell Jim Hicks to give me an evaluation of my son? And if Jim Hicks thinks X, Y, and Z about him, can you ask Jim Hicks to maybe promote him when people come to town? Jimmy, is that how things work? Yes or no?
That's a very smart way to do it, and a lot of people will say, "Well, man, I don't want to make it seem like I'm using you. I don't want to." And people even go to the left. I don't want to kiss no ass. That's not kissing ass. That's utilizing your resources. That's what that is. And
Jimmy, when somebody want to get a new job, what do? Hey man, my homeboy got me put on over here. When did somebody really seriously ever got a job where they didn't get put on? They didn't get put on by their homeboy or their homegirl or something. Hey man, listen. I helped my boy the other day. My boy is an AD at a university. I happened to call him. I said, man, what's going on there? I say, I got my buddy trying to get a budget officer job. He's over at NC State. He says, Chris, you're not going to believe this. I got the job right now. I didn't realize that. I'm going to make sure I'm going to walk him through everything. I'm going to walk him through everything, and I'm going to make sure he gets that job. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how things happen. People say it sounds so bad. It is what it is, guys. Y'all just got to deal with it. The ones that can hear it, the ones that can't. But that's how life works in this business. It's very difficult. I know, Jimmy, people get mad about the tweeting thing, or people get mad about, other ways that people pay for tweets. But what I respect is, you can do the legitimacy of it, is that people, you got to try, man. You got to put some energy, input into output, right, Jim? Like you got to put yourself. It's not just about playing all the time, man. Tie goes to the relationship, guys. Tie goes to the relationship every single time.
And I guess the thing is when a lot of people have invested so much into the process. A lot of parents. And this is how it gets shifted. When you want those schools to come by and see your kid play and stop by their gym, their open gym during the school time, you really want that Division I coach to come by there. And here's where the thing goes. I can get a Division I coach to come by and see any kid that, I don't care how good he is or isn't. I can get at least one to stop by your school. That's guaranteed. I can guarantee you that. Now, here's the deal though. When he stops by your school or it's your son's or daughter's school, your son or daughter, if they don't know that coach came by as a favor to me, right? Or a recommendation, like, Coach, I need you to go by this school. You're not really doing it. It's just, I don't really want to call it a favor. Just say as a suggestion of mine. But I'm going to give that coach the disclaimer. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to let him know before he goes, hey, he's about 5'6". The coach is a good dude. He has talent coming through the program here and there. You need to meet that coach anyway, but they might have a ninth grade over there. I heard he's about 6'4", 6'5", and he's pretty good. But meanwhile, make sure you find Lil Johnny while you're over there. Lil Johnny Thibodeau. His folks, good friend of mine. I know his people. They good people. Go see him, man. Give him a high five. Let him know, coach. Let him know what you see. Need to work on, and that way it can help boost his self-esteem. That's kind of like how those conversations go. Now he's gonna stop by there. That kid is not gonna know that the coach didn't really come there to offer you no scholarship. He didn't come there to recruit you. He just came there in the physical tense. And here's where it gets shifted. That kid, coach will leave there. The kid gonna go run to Twitter and tell the world that he just got so-and-so coach just came in there. And by the way, meanwhile, Chris, can you give us an example of what if you're the college coach on that particular day that I've asked you and suggested that you go by this particular high school? I need you to stop by Katy High School and see, one of these kids over here. And guess what? And I gave you the same disclaimer, gave you the same scenario. What are you going to say? Now, mind you, you're the professional. You just said a while ago, you can't beat the coach. You know things you can say that can sound like you're really ready to offer this kid a scholarship. You're not even recruiting this kid. But you know just what to say to make that kid, his self-esteem is going to float through the roof. Give us 2 examples of what you can say to this young man.
I'd watch him practice, and I would always say, Coach, I want to make sure I talk to him before he leaves. Sometimes that's not legal or whatever. You want to make sure you get a chance to, to rap with him, particularly if it's a relationship, if it's a buddy of yours. Say, man, I really enjoy watching you play. And you always start, like, I really enjoy, I like your energy. If the kid is a kid that worked hard, right? I say, like, here's some of the things you got to work on. Hey, man, you got to work on this, you got to work on that. But if you do these things, there's a good chance that team players like myself will be in here all day long, will be here all season long, will watch you during the summer. Man, I think you really have a chance. Think of what I'm saying. I think you really have a chance. I think you really have a chance, right? If you do these things, there's a chance. There's a chance. The same way when you recruit a kid, instead of saying, "Hey, man, start." Say, man, if you come here, there's a chance being in the starting lineup. I'm starting when I go. I love your energy. Coach says he speaks highly of you. Coach Hicks speaks highly of you. He says you have a great family. You really work hard in school. I enjoy talking to your high school coach. He says you're a team player. You're a leader at the school. Hey, man, you would be a great prospect. The only thing I care about, the number one thing I care about is he talented enough to get to that next level where I can put him on the list of 20 guys that we already have? Okay? Which would make him number 21. So then after that, guess what I'm going to do? Hey, man, we're going to send you all type of stuff on the school. We'll send you a bunch of information. Hey, what's your parents? Give me your parents' email stuff. We'll send them information as well. And then we'll see where it goes from here, man. Great seeing you, man. Keep working hard. Bam, I'm out the door. And guess what? I'm at Papa Do's right after that meeting. Yeah, I went over there, man. I did that for you. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, his kid will be happy. Never offered him a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Was cordial, was professional. And dare I say, if he wasn't a scrub, I wasn't lying. I never said he could play Division I. I never said I was offering him a scholarship. I never said that he would be playing on ESPN. I never said any of those things. What he goes out there and interprets on his own is his business. I'm just saying, hey, man, Pete, I spoke to his coach, spoke great about him. I spoke to you, Jimmy, guess what you said? You said that he was a good kid. I watched him play. He's a decent player. Who am I to say that he can't get better and become a Division I player? But I never said that I'm offering him a scholarship and he got a chance to be a pro. That's what I'm saying. Like, people, you hear what you want to hear. You got to understand what you're hearing. You're never going to, and here's the thing, the kid, especially, obviously, it's one of those things where, you laugh at parents. I don't say you laugh at them. I know one thing I always try to educate my parents on is, hey, listen, we're only interested in one thing, the truth. This is a miss or make league. The NBA is a miss or make league. It's can and can't. It ain't maybe. It's can and can't. That's it. And my thing is, you got to be a straight shooter. And again, I get recruiting, and you're always dancing on both sides of the fence a little bit because you never know. But my thing is, when you're more honest with them, even when I talk to a parent, hey, you know what? He's got a chance. I'll still say to the parent, and they don't say, you're off on a scholarship? Are you off on a scholarship? I'm like, I don't think we're ready to go there yet. I don't think we're ready to go there yet. I think we'll think about it. Hey, you know what? My head coach has got to see him. That's the only thing. But the head coach has got to see him. Then the head coach go see him. You know what? We got one of our other assistants. He got to come see him too. That's like 4 months between that span. Like people don't understand because you just can't. There's so many players. You can't see them all. And you got your own season going on simultaneously. So they know how to just keep running the clock out. And then by the time they run the clock out, guess what they say? Oh man, we end up getting this other kid. We end up getting this other kid. I had another experience with a coach. I say, man, I heard you recruit this kid. Gary Sinclair. I heard you recruit this kid, right? And H-Town. I said, yeah. I say, what do you think about him? Oh, I think kids make a mistake because of this, because of that. College coaches, man, they can be cynical as well. They all think they have the answer. That's what I'm saying. Like kids and parents, I feel sorry for them sometimes because they're just not equipped to deal with all that madness. Because I know the parents and the kids want the scholarship. The parents and the kids, they want to play in the NBA one day. It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard for them to decipher who's telling the truth. But when I sit down with your kid, oh man, all you got to do is butter them up. Oh my God, man. Man, I like the way you get in the stance. Think about it. Man, I love the way you get in the stance. I've never seen a kid get in a stance like you. Like, what does your trainer do? Like, you're just like, what does your trainer do? Yo, work on killer. Yeah, we do. I'm like, oh, great, man. You have a great attitude. What does your mom do? And you start talking and all the pleasantries, and the kids get locked up into it, and locked up in it, and all they're looking at is that patch on your shirt, University of Texas. They're not even thinking about, what's reality. You know what I'm saying? And what the other thing they don't know is how many other kids we're recruiting. Because man, guess what, man? You know what a stump speech is? I don't think people understand what a stump speech is. If you know anything about politics, you watch MSNBC, Fox, all those things. If somebody like Obama does a stump speech on Tuesday in Dayton, Ohio, what do you think he's gonna do the next day in Lansing, Michigan? The same speech. He's gonna leave Lansing, Michigan, I'm sorry, and go to Des Moines, Iowa. What do you think he's gonna do? The same speech. He's gonna leave Iowa and he's gonna go to Dallas and do what? The same speech. So when I leave this high school, what do you think? I go to the next high school. What do you think I'm doing, Jimmy? The same. Oh God, and you work hard. Man, what do you mean, man? You must. Did your dad play? Was your mama player? I mean, all you gotta do is add some personality with it. And it's just really hard for kids. I mean, I get it. And you can sit there and do that with the coach too. But coaches kind of know, man, this kid's not a Division I player. Why are you over here? The coaches know, like, hold on, man, you like that dude? Something strange.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I want to add something in the psychology, or the psychological makeup of this whole scenario which we're talking about. We're talking about. If you just tuned to the Chop Shop, we encourage you guys to share the show if you hadn't done so already. There are people in your groups that need to hear some of this conversation. I mean, and we have this conversation before, yes. But guess what? All eggs don't hatch on the same day. And it's just like, guess what? Every Sunday that you go to church, there's a call to the altar that the pastor do. He did the same call to the altar last Sunday. Guess what? It just might be your day to get up and come on to the front of the congregation and join. And that's what we're doing. We're preaching these sermons to you guys about the recruiting process. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot from you guys because platforms like the Chop Shop enables you guys to express and ask questions that I may have thought you already knew the answer to. And I understand it's not. I go out of my way. I don't embarrass anybody for their lack of understanding about this stuff. Because as Chris said, I know that you're playing against the odds. The casino ain't got nothing on basketball recruiting. Your odds of winning in the casino is far greater than getting a Division I scholarship. Trust me. And guess what? There are a lot of people that go and sit down and play blackjack. I got a cousin that does. He knows all of the rules and when to split the eights and when to do this and when to fold. He got it all down pat. And guess what? That still don't mean he gonna win that night or that day or that week. So here's the thing I want to get to you. Was something that you might not realize. I've talked to high school coaches in recent months and weeks, about this very topic. And here's where the high school coaches stand. So, of course, times have changed, and first of all, you have to embrace the understanding of it has changed because of social media. When a college coach walks into a gym, and he tends to go, and if that scenario we just planted, we're going to compound on that scenario, and Chris goes and see this little Johnny. Remember, I gave him the scenario, gave him a disclaimer, but here's what happens. The high school coach don't know either that Chris Walker is just coming out to do Jim Hicks a solid. So here's where the problem comes into play. And high school coach is trying to tell Chris Walker about his best player. He has a 3.9 GPA. He's never missed a practice. He works the best, hardest working player in the program he's ever seen in the last 2 decades. He's a great fit. He averaged 20 points for you. He's all district first team. And he's giving Chris this spiel about this little kid. And Chris looking like, I coach at Cal Berkeley. He's not saying it, but this dude has there's a kid in every district. There's at least 8 of them or 10 of them that was first team all district. In every district in the United States of America, there's a leading scorer on every team. There's an underclassman that starts on varsity on pretty much every team. Do you guys understand this? There's a tall guy that is promising, that is a bit raw on every team. There's a little Opie that can shoot the piss out the ball when he's wide open.
Every team.
In every city, in every state of America. I'm talking about, man, he shot 43% from the three-point line. He's dead-eye shooter. How tall is he, coach? No, he's growing right now. He's 5'11", but he's growing. On every city in the country. Back to this. The high school coach, when that scenario, when the coach leaves from just doing somebody a favor, here's the collateral damage that it causes. Sometimes. Collateral damage that it causes with the chemistry and the makeup of a team. Unless that coach, the college coach, informs the high school coach why he's really there. There will be kids who think now that I'm greater and I'm better than the rest of my teammates because this guy came to see me.
Well, let me say this, Jimmy. If a college coach is smart, first of all, they never show up unannounced. Hey, coach, I'm passing through town. I just want to shoot through, and I'm just watching practices. That's how they cloak it. I'm just shooting through town. I was at Spring High School, and I heard that UF Memorial got, maybe have a couple of guys, and I'm just going, and I'm making my rounds. And then when he gets there, the coach can say whatever he wants to say, and if the coach is smart enough to know that kid that he's doing a favor, not one of the better players, he'll either try to talk to the team, he'll make his way over to talk to that kid, or he'll ask the coach about that kid. If the kid's just halfway decent, no one's going to go see a scrub. Let's get this straight. No one's going to just go waste time because time is valuable. No one's going to go see a scrub. The kid just may be an all right player, or he's going to be recruitable. See, people got to understand, recruitable doesn't mean you're getting recruited, and it doesn't mean you're going to get a scholarship. I'll say that again. He's recruitable. Doesn't mean you're going to get recruited, and it doesn't mean you're going to get a scholarship. If City of Houston is the third or fourth largest city in America, hear me out. The City of Houston is the third or fourth largest city in America, and there are only 25 kids going to Division I. Right? What the hell you think going on some of those other smaller towns, how hard it is? Think about that. You know? And my thing is, like for instance, I'm looking at what Jason, I'm looking at the feed right now, right? And Jason Peterson is like Jimmy Asewalk about Carson Edwards, and he's 5'11", probably a little bit bigger than that. That I see him as an NBA talent. Hell no! I tried to get Carson Edwards to play on my team. I tried to get him. I thought he was an explosive guard. You know what Carson Edwards did? First of all, he's a great kid. He's very athletic, and he chose the right school. He chose the school that allowed him to do his thing. That's what he did. Because a lot of people won't let a 5'11" guard do what he did. But not only did he choose the right school, when he was given the opportunity, what did he do, Jimmy? He knocked it out the box. There's another kid that's from our city that was a hell of a player in the Big East. You know what I'm talking about, Jimmy? D'Angelo Harrison. He knocked it out the box too. But guess what? He wasn't as fortunate. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes it's other stuff going on that could be off the court. But D'Angelo Harrison had a great career as well. Didn't make it though. Overseas making bank. Carson Edwards, now he might be out. I don't know if Carson Edwards out of the league yet. But he was on the team, never really played. But I'm sure he'll be back and forth. But again, it's situational, man. I mean, I'm not saying NBA, man. We're not talking about guys in the NBA. And I'm not saying Jason asked that question. What I'm saying is very difficult to get to where you want to get to. It's not that easy. And when parents say stuff like, "Well, he's training with this person," I'm like, "Well, who is the person training with? Like, does that dude ever had any Division I players? Does that dude ever coach college coaches? Does that dude have a relationship with the high school coach?" You know, I'm not saying I was crazy about all my high school coaches, but I made sure I was in lockstep with them. Hey, coach, just want to let you know such coming about the school, just to make sure I had a relationship with them dudes. Because them dudes get jealous. They get jealous. And sometimes you're, "Hey, coach, I'm sending coaches over there to watch your team." He knows that Jamal Bieniemy plays for the team he played for. Hey, man, I'm sending guys over to watch the guys. So it helps the high school coach, too, because the high school coach likes it when college coaches come by their practice. They like that. Because they're not doing that. You got to realize the thing about high school coaches. They're not calling, 99% of them aren't calling college coaches, telling them to come out of practice. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. You think they're doing that? You're crazy. They're not doing that, man. So the AAU system is very important to college basketball. And AAU coaches are the ones that usually communicate with them. And social media has become a big deal. You know, so again, as I was talking to my nephew, I'm like, bruh, so how are you supposed to get recruited then? Are you going to start for your high school team? Here's the last point I'll make before I let you take over, Jimmy. Summer basketball is the best way for you to be recruited, not high school. When you go to big tournaments, there's a better chance. Let me ask you a question. If you go to a pond and fish, where's a better chance to catch more fish? Man, they got a whole bunch of marlins here. Man, there's 3 marlins in this whole ocean. Yeah, I get it. There's a big fish in that ocean. But there's 3 in the whole ocean, bro. Instead of going where you can catch 1 million trout. So where you got a better chance of catching a fish? And like people don't understand, like when you play for your high school team, the chances that they're going to leave their team during a year and come see one game, because all of the high school games take place with Jimmy at the same time. So they can only see one game at one time. If you think that's how you're going to get recruited, the only chance you got of that happening is if they're playing against somebody. If you're playing against somebody they're already recruiting, that's it. Zero chance. Zero chance. That's not a way to get recruited. It's not. Summer's very important.
I say it like this, and this is the part that really will hit home. For 99% of the basketball players out there, colleges that you can possibly play for in reality, those coaches are able to come see you damn near year round. There is no dead period for there's a small fragment of dead periods for non-Division I coaches. And the thing is, understand the trap on it. They don't have the budgets for the most part as most Division I's do. the vast majority of non-Division ones don't have the budgets of most of your Division ones. So what happens is, if you notice, when you go to these events and you see a lot of these non-Division one coaches, ask the next one that you see how long it took him to get to your city, or where did he come from, or what method of travel did he use. Just ask one. I promise you, you'll be the first person to ask him that question all day. I promise you that. Right? So if you ask him that, he's going to tell you he drove. And that's the investment that coach is doing. He has to drive to your city, drive back home. Most of the time it's done in the same day. Those guys are beating up the highway like that. And those guys are very accessible, because most people don't beat their telephones up until the spring.
Yeah. So they don't get what they thought they were going to get.
On the way down. You know, when you realize his last call in the club and his last call, and you can tell
Big Shirley look real good.
Big Shirley looking sexy right now. Because you're looking around, all of them left, everybody start thinning out. Hell, I might as well go and rock with Big Shirley. Big Shirley, she thick. She thick 'em, but she twerking pretty good on that. I'm gonna rock with Big Shirley. That's kind of like how but guess what? You're not tricking them when you call them all of a sudden then. They know that you
Exactly.
They know.
It's shallow hell, man. It's shallow hell. And like, you know what I tell parents to listen? They gotta do some studying. That's why it's like I could teach a class on it. I should write a book on it. Right? Is that if you ask DJ Griggs, right? And I think DJ Griggs, Griggs, Bryce's brother, that played with Bryce's brother played. He played at LIU, right?
Yeah.
Do you know when LIU had that success? That coach, he was head coach at Penn State last year. They had like 3 or 4 kids from Texas on that team. The team in Buffalo, the Massenburg kids, they had kids from Texas on that team. Do you know those guys don't have the budget to come down to Texas and recruit? That if you were smart, you would send your kids. Like, I know everybody, I got to play events around here. Man, if you know that kids, people on the East Coast will recruit your kid if they knew who they were, send them to events up there. Send them to camps up there. Eastern Invitational and stuff. Because what Texas has that a lot of people don't have is a lot of athletes. There are a lot of people that don't see your kid play. Your kid could be good enough, but they don't see him play. Binghamton. Why would Binghamton be down to recruit in Houston? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of programs out there. Marist. That would take a kid from Texas in a second, but they're not flying down to see him. You understand what I'm saying, Jimmy? You got to plan. If you want to get the best chance of getting into Division I basketball, it can be done. But I'm just telling you, man, you got to understand the landscape. You know what's funny about kids from Texas? Colleges from Texas. It amazes me. I know some kids. I'm like, man, what the hell? Did all them schools in the Southland pass you up? Right? Damn. Do you know that? Again, I'm not putting their business out there or chopping them up. Damn, I was like, what was I was gonna say? Houston Baptist. Houston Baptist is a prime example, right? People don't know this about Houston Baptist. The state of North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina has a great public school system. I mean, a great public school system. So you know what Houston Baptist does? When you look at their roster, I want to say the last couple of years, look at where they're. Now, one would think that if you're Houston Baptist, where would you recruit from, Jimmy? They probably don't have a big budget.
Houston.
They don't have the traffic to get the high-level player. You would think they would be recruiting right here in Houston, right here in Texas. But their main players come from North Carolina. If I went to a kid and said, hey, man, you should look at Houston Baptist. You know the kids will say, nah, man, I'm better than that. I ain't doing that. But we'll go play at Wright State. Like, God, what do you mean you won't go to HBU? It's Division I, just like that place is, man. And Houston Baptist, they know that. So guess what they don't waste their time doing, Jimmy? Recruiting the city. They go to North Carolina. When kids right here in the city won't go there, and it's Division I. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. But guess what'll happen, Jimmy? Like you said, when April comes around, HBUs look like what? Look like the University of Texas do, don't they? Right? You know what I'm saying? HBU all of a sudden look like Duke. Oh man, I'm going to HBU. No man, it's too late now. They got a dude from Charlotte now. And then you know they sell HBU? Oh man, they don't recruit guys in Texas. No, that's not what it is. Kids in Texas or kids in Houston act like they don't want to go. They too good for HBU. Do you feel where I'm coming from, TC?
That's an unfortunate truth. And the ones that end up going to HBU, the local Houston kids, systematic. I mean, for the most part. And I've noticed it and I've watched it from afar. And here's what happens. There are two different kinds. There are ones that are ranked locally, and then there are some that are ranked pretty, high, I mean top 30 or whatnot. And there's some that's ranked in below. Those are termed sleepers. The sleepers that go to HBU have had far greater success than the players whom were ranked in the top 40, so to say, and they went and took them because those top 40 players come into HBU thinking like, well, I was big. You were the red ant in your ant bed. So you feel that I can go somewhere else. You really didn't have no offers. But I can go, but I'm gonna go and do HBU a favor.
Exactly.
And that's where the problem comes in. You're doing you think these are kids now. And some grown-ups think have the same psychological makeup. That you're doing that school a favor. And truth be told, you get there and you struggle at first. Then the next thing you know, you want to leave. And that was before the NCAA just implemented these rules where anybody can transfer the first one time without sitting out. So guess what happens to HBU now? Those kids they couldn't get, they can get them kids now on the rebound. The rebound is the thing for college coaches now. Dennis Rodman's now is going to be a lot of college coaches going to be getting rebounds. And I said it before. Every coach out there, every kid who commits to a college, every single one, guess what they all have in common? That was a runners up. That was one school that was part of the final two. Now they may announce the final four or final 8. And I don't know why all these kids now get wacky on social media. Final 10. Everybody has a final 2. In some cases, somebody close to you, maybe the grassroots coach, your trainer, whatnot, they may like one school, pulling you like a wishbone one way. Dad might be pulling one way. Mom might be pulling another way. Girlfriend is normally the tiebreaker. And college coaches know that. That's a whole different topic. We'll get in that.
Whole different topic.
Because you got parents, you have no earthly idea about the girlfriends. And for some girlfriends, that's unisex. Your girlfriends, you have no idea because that girlfriend of the girl player, the girlfriend of the boy player is the tiebreaker in most scenarios. Now, Chris, I had a quick question for you.
Hold on, let me tell you how cold the game is on the girlfriend thing before you ask me that question. There was a couple of kids that I talked to. I remember they was in love with their girls. I said, how'd you man like my girlfriend? I said, dude. You're 17 years old. This is you on the other side. Now, if it's working in your favor, obviously, guess what? You're gonna work it to the end, right? That's what most guys would do. I personally would not work a girlfriend to get a kid to come to school. I think that's just disingenuous. I wouldn't do that. But if you're on the other side, I would tell a kid, say, listen, man, I guarantee you by your sophomore year, you'll never talk to that girl again. Oh, no, coach, I'm in love with her. I said, homeboy, when you get to college, you will never talk to that girl again. I don't care. You might be with your freshman year. By the time you're a junior, you will not be talking to that girl again. there's only one dude in the history of since I've been doing coaching that theory did not reign supreme with, and he's the only kid that did not go where I basically instructed him to go to school. And you know who that kid was, Jimmy? B.J. Holmes. That is a true story because he ended up marrying his girl that he went to college, went to high school. B.J. Holmes. And so my thing is, and I'm up here trying to talk him out of going to A&M. You know, when Mark Turgeon was there, I didn't like the whole situation. I didn't think it worked well for him. And you know what that kid told me? I swear to God, it was the only thing that backed me off of him. Because usually I'm pretty insistent, and man, you're going to school here, man. It's the best place for you. These people are the best because, you know, you don't send people where you don't know people and you think they got the best interests. That's what you can provide when you know what's going on. He said, Coach, I prayed on it, and God told me to go to A&M. I was like, oh, whoa. I'm not touching that one. I'm not going to block my blessing. I'm not touching that one. And it ended up being the best thing he ever did. So sometimes we don't always get it right either. But again, those girlfriends and all that stuff, man, please, man. That's ridiculous to let, if a parent allows a young lady to be influenced by these guys like that, and they probably won't even know these girls 2 years into it. Anyway, are you going to ask me a question?
I have a couple of questions from the YouTube feed, and this is from Mr. Bishop. And he asks you to
I gotta watch that tape, man. I always some info, but I'm gonna get it to you.
He says that last week, right, on the Chop Shop, we stated that numerous kids, right, numerous times, the college coaches will get to have opportunity to see kids because of the Baller TV and the live streams and whatnot, right? He says, so now just a while ago, right, you just mentioned that the coaches never get to see all these kids on the list. And it's very neat. So want you to elaborate on that? Which one is it? And which is an easy answer for you. And then he also asked, well, just get on that first. Let's come back.
Jim, remember when I was talking a minute ago about when you go to the school, how I talk to the kid? Oh man, I really love the way you get the stance. Man, you got a chance. Keep working hard. Blah 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 blah. Right? That's all Hatter's saying. A coach has the opportunity to see you. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. It doesn't mean that you're the top of the list. They only got so much time. People got to realize they get 5 opportunities. I don't want to say 5 opportunities. And I haven't been in the game in a few years. It might be more than that now. To see a kid. Right? Each kid gets 5. Like they get 5 opportunities. They get 2. I want to say 3 evaluations, 2 contacts, 2 contacts, 3 evaluations. Brian Merritt's on there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Now, I mentioned to you guys before that each school signs an average of 3 scholarships per year. An average. I mean, 5, maybe 5 one year, maybe 2 one year, maybe 4. It's an average of 3 multiplied times 350. That's how many Division I schools are. Everybody do the math. 350, because it all comes down to freaking math. 350 times 3. 350 times 3. That's all that's available each year. Division I. If you want to take high major basketball, that's the Power 7 in basketball, right? With the AAC and the Big East, obviously being the other 2.
Yeah.
If you want to add a Power 8, you can maybe throw in the Mountain West. Right, and then Gonzaga might get mad and say you should include our league, and that would be a Power 9. It's different than football, very different, right? Cincinnati's number 2 in football right now, and people saying they still may not be in the college football playoff. That's how they get hate on. It don't work that way in basketball. Everybody plays for the same championship in basketball, right? So if you say Power, let's say Power 8, and let's say there's an average of 12 schools per team in that league. If you're talking about playing high major basketball, Big 12, SEC, ACC, Big East, you're only talking about probably less than 100 scholarships that are available. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality of it. So those same kids, man, I'm going to go play it too. Dude, stop. You're not going to Carolina, homeboy. You're not even the top 100. You're not even the top 1. Not even the top 25 of Jimmy Hicks RCS Sports. How you going to Maryland? Like you got, it's like people got to make sense of it. It's not mean. It's math. I'll say it again. It's not mean. It's math. And then it's reality. You got to have real world thinking. So that 10,050 scholarships, right? Jimmy, how many kids are playing basketball in the city of Houston? Let me give everybody a quick synopsis of how this thing works. in the city of Houston only, how many kids are playing basketball? Like how many high schools times, let's say 10 kids is usually more than 10, probably 15 per team on varsity. How many schools in Houston times 15 players?
But it's about estimated approximately 200 high schools in Greater Houston, and so if you multiply that times 15 players, that comes out to about 30,000.
No, 3,000.
I'm thinking, sorry, 3,000 players. I'm sorry, I said
Yeah, about 3,000, 3,150 or something like that. I'm not quick like that. But it comes out to, again, we got people doing the math right there. That's cool. 200 schools times 15 scholarships per kid. 3,000. Branch on that right there. We should put branch on it. Good stop them talk about. So 3,000. That's just Houston. Branch in Dallas. In Dallas, how many schools in the DFW area?
It's about another 200 times.
So now we're at 6,000. Now, Jenny, let's go to Central Texas, which is coming in.
Go to the ASAC, which is Austin, San Antonio, Killeen, which is another. San Antonio, understand something. San Antonio, square mileage, population-wise, is larger than Dallas. So San Antonio itself has another possibly right at 200 schools. And you get another 100. And so in Austin, then you get another another 20 in the Killeen area. Chris.
So now round it off, say there's about tens and kids, right? We're talking about 1,050 nationally, huh? 1,050 nationally, Jimmy. Nationally. And it's about 10,000, right? In the state of Texas. And you got people run around here thinking they should go get a scholarship like it's so easy. It's difficult. And so if you're not in Jimmy Hicks's top 50, top 50 is even going down too far. If you're not in his top, I want to say 40, because that means, like you said, Jimmy, it's all about range. It's all about range. If you're not in Alan Branch's top 75, right? All about range. Because I don't know how many, the other things people got to understand is how many kids per year, Branch knows his answer, how many kids per year sign scholarships out of the state of Texas that are Division I? So Jimmy, let me ask you this question. In the city of Houston, forget Division I, how many kids, period, sign a scholarship? Even if it's Division II. What's that number?
Yeah, that number.
What's the average of that number?
That number goes on upward. Then you're talking, I think the state of Texas combined on a yearly basis, you get somewhere between 60 to 70 Division I signees. But then you're talking about non-Division I, then that number goes upward over, understand, non-Division I. We're talking about, that's the whole thing, free education, even if it's only for a 2-year school. That goes into the equation. That's a free education. So that way you can't put junior colleges on the island. So you start to non-Division I's. When you start talking about that number can go upward to around 150 plus to 200 easy per year out of the state of Texas, because there are so many of those schools everywhere. And what I think of like this, Chris, we talked about the problem. Here's a solution. And I like to go that way. It looks like you're beating up on the same rug. I'm going to go to a different rug today. High school coaches, if you're watching right now. Grassroots coaches, if you're watching right now. Basketball workout specialists, developmental trainers, if you're watching right now. Here's one for you. Start pooling right down, right? A list of the college coaches that you consider allies at the non-Division I level. Let's forget the D1. The non-Division I coaches that you consider an ally, that you have in your address book. Write those down. Don't keep them. We know they're in your phone. Need you to get a spreadsheet and just write their names, write the school, the name, and it down. You can write the phone number if you need to as well. Here's what I'm getting at. When you get with one of your buddies, ask him to do the same. Tell him to go and y'all can connect in a week. Write down all of his allies of non-Division One at non-Division One schools right now. Because here's the deal: if they're your allies, then you should be willing to help them get a pay raise or get a job. Because understand like this: every middle school coach, guess what most of them would love to be coaching at. Every middle school head coach would love to be what? A high school head coach. Most high school head coach, not all, but most young ones, let's say most single, every single high school coach that I know would love to be as a college coach. You see how this goes? Most single college coaches would love to work in the what? NBA. You see how this chain works? So now you get that list. And you get with somebody you know. First of all, you can look at self. Reach out to all those guys. Hey, man, what's going on, buddy? Just checking in on me. How you doing, man? Let me know if you need any help. We got some players down here. Oh, man, you might have talked to some of these guys in 4 or 5 years. Here's what I've noticed is happening, Chris. If all of the high school coaches, grassroots coaches, developmental coaches start to collectively tap into their own resources of college coaches at the non-Division One level, those guys would be flocking to Houston on the regular. They don't have the budget. Exactly. So now they're your ally. You are assuring them. And that's the thing. They are not prone to come to Houston for just one kid.
No.
You can't be. They don't have the budgets to do that. So you can't be that selfish. Here's what you do. You throw somebody else a bone. Find 3 kids in the vicinity. Coach, here's the kid. He can help you right now. But here's 2 others. Then here's what you do. Here's what you do. Let those other 2 know that I gave you the bone. I threw you the bone.
Dude. I used to do it all the time. Herbie be on the feet. Hey man, you want to see Kobe Gordon? Listen, I know you want to make the go see the kid Jay Lee. Go see him over there, and go see that kid over there. Them the dudes you want to see. You know what I mean, Jimmy? Because I was a coach, so people know. I said, listen, man, don't come to see that person, see that kid. Here are the kids that are similar to my kid, right? Because you would have 5 to 10 people recruiting your kid. So I want to be a kingmaker in Houston. Yeah, do I want my kids to be the better players? Yes. But I'll be like, listen, man. Yo, Jay Lucas is good. You go see Jay, but you know John, you got to deal with John. All that. Matter of fact, go see Tim Frazier. Tim Frazier's another kid you might want to check out. You help them so now they can make better use of their time because that coach, you know who he's going to do? Hey man, I'm down in Houston right now. You need to get down here, man, because that coach may call his homeboy who's maybe at a lower level. They got some players down here. It's worth coming down here and spending a few days. It's a copy, like they always say, the NFL is a copycat league, right? Recruiting is a copycat process. It's a copycat process because every assistant coach one day becomes a head coach. And if he's at Texas, that don't mean he's going to get the Texas A&M job. He may get the Texas Pan American job. You know what I'm saying? He may be the Texas head coach, but he may get the UT Arlington job, which means he's going to be recruiting kids and not at a lower level, but he's not going to be recruiting the high level dudes. Here's another point people got to realize. Y'all watch Jimmy Rankins. I know it's been heavy on college stuff today. Look at Jimmy Rankins and tell me how many kids. People got to know this. And I asked him the same thing. And he may have had 1 or 2 years in the last 20 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Power 5 signees in your top 10, not top 20. How many years have you ever had more than 5 Power 5?
I think maybe 2012 was probably the last year we had that many.
Exactly.
2012. That's almost 10 years ago.
Let me say it again so people understand. I didn't say power. Okay, let's say power 9.
Power 7. Power 7 in basketball or whatever.
Power 7.
Yeah.
More in the 3rd largest city in America. How many times had more than top 10? That's how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? Power 5. That means 5 to 15, I'm sorry, 5 to 25 went to them other levels. That's what you fighting against, man. So if you're not playing with the right team and the right tournaments at the right time, you in a tough situation. And again, there's nothing wrong with playing at, UT Arlington and HBU and Wright State and Portland State and Mercer. There's nothing wrong with that. Or LIU. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, if your goal is to play at Villanova, I'm just telling you, to play at one of the best universities in America where I played, you got to be so good that it's crazy. People don't understand how good you got to be. And you don't luck up into that. Oh, they just playing favorites. You don't play favorites into that. Buzz Williams ain't playing favorites. He make too much money. Jamie Jason ain't playing favorites. They make too much money. They may make mistakes, but they're not playing favorites. You gotta understand that. It's not the way it works. You know what I'm saying, Jim? So when people say that to me, I just shake my head. I be like, guys, Arkansas just signed six high major dudes. They just got the kid the other day, the kid from Dallas. Who's the kid from Dallas? Jordan Walsh, who's a 5-star player. They got another kid who's a 5-star player, and they got 4 4-stars. You think they doing favors at Arkansas? They're trying to win a national championship. You think that? Well, guess who else is trying to win one? Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Guess who else is trying to win one? South Carolina. and South Carolina don't recruit Texas. People don't know, man. It's hard to get recruited. You got to be intentional. Like it's almost like, seriously, you need to be a PGW in a different way. Not a PGW yelling at the refs. Not a PGW yelling at your players. I mean, at the coaches. You need to be a PGW in your research and your approach. That's how you need to be a PGW. And understanding how this game goes and realize how to put yourself in the middle of it where it helps you. That's where you need to be a PGW.
We have another question, the last one, and see, somebody asked Chris, how would a kid, you mentioned the rankings of the local state, just say in your local metropolitan area, how would an 11th grader get recruited, right, by a Division I coach, or let's say even a non-Division I coach? How does that recruitment process?
Is he good? Can he play? Can he play? My thing is, can he play? Think about it, Jimmy. I'll pose this question to Jimmy. Jimmy, how often do y'all miss? How often between you, Big Doug, and Jeffrey Day do y'all miss?
I'm going to tell you guys, my batting average in this stuff is really, really hard because you guys, if you pay attention, I don't go and put a stamp on a player as far as anointing them. I'm not fast to do it. I'm not quick draw McGraw on because it doesn't matter to me now who sees the kids first because social media is in play. It doesn't matter who breaks the news no more because guess what? The guy who's right on the news is the guy that's gonna get the pay raise. Not the guy who break the news. And right. and so in this thing, I think that it's so much in your parents. You guys are so on the opposite end of this thing, and the odds are stacked so far against you because you think that a coach going to come and sit. Understand something? A coach come and sit in your living room. You're going to cook for a home visit. And Chris, I know you've been in plenty home visits and in plenty living rooms, dining rooms. Don't even say the coach's name. I've never asked you this question before in my life. But I'm pretty certain this is all around the world the same song. Give us a scenario where one of your bosses, you taking him in for a home visit, and these people about to cook so-and-so, and your boss telling you probably every coach ain't willing to eat what you have cooked.
Man, I got a great story.
Give us one. Just give me one. Give me one real quick. I'm just curious. Without saying the coach's name.
It don't matter. I ain't gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say the word. So one time we went to the Bahamas. It was a true story. Recruit the kid. He ended up going to North Carolina. We went to say, look, man, we recruit this kid. He's from the Bahamas. He's over here going to school. We need to go. We got to go. I'm sorry. We got to go to Jamaica. We had to go to Jamaica. We go to Jamaica. Guy picks us up, drives us into these mountains, right? And my boss, he's scared as hell. He's the only white person for probably 4 continents. He's scared as I don't know what, all that water. He's like, man, you all right, man, relax, man, you okay. We good. We go there, the mom cook. You know, you got the little goat, you got all kinds of stuff. This little the only white person. The mom cooks, and they all happy. It's like the whole neighborhood in Canton, right? Because we were at a very prestigious school. And I say to them while we going there, before we get on, I say, listen, this is a black family. They're going to cook for you. You go to the other hue, they might have some cookies and milk, okay? When you go to the white family, the black family, it's going to be like soul food. They cooking. And they cooking what they like to eat, okay? They cooking. They cooking the whole nine. The kid was not there. The kid was still in school. He said, y'all got to go see my parents. So I'm like, listen, man, you got to eat, man. You got to eat. I don't care what you say, you got to eat. He says, man, you know what? My stomach's not feeling well. I said, he makes up his excuse. I said, okay. I'm just letting you know, man. I'm going to eat, though. I'm going to eat. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to eat it, though.
So you saying a lot of, you saying there are some white coaches out there that really don't like some of this soul food and Cajun food and spice food that you guys are making.
Let me tell you how crazy the story is. So he takes the doggy bag, don't eat. Say, oh, I ate, I'm not hungry, Takes the doggy bag. Okay, no big deal. I ate, he takes the doggy bag. He gonna eat it when he gets to the hotel. We drive back, that same 2-hour drive all the way back to Kingston, right? He gives the food to the driver. Driver's off, man, Buckshot, thank you, man. Thank you very much. And then he said, quiet. Right. He said, thank you very much. So we eat. We go back to the States. We're trying to recruit the kid, trying to get him on the phone. He won't return our call. I'm like, yo, man, what's going on? I'm going to North Carolina. Okay, no big deal, you know. We lose North Carolina. You can't be mad about that. And so I always ask, man, what could we have done better? What could we have done for the next time? You know what he said? He said, you guys didn't know the person that picked y'all up was my cousin. The dude that picked y'all up from the spot was my cousin. You gave the food back to my cousin. He didn't tell y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, my cousin. So the kid was like, nah, man, disrespectful. I'm not going there. So I'm saying, like, that is a part of it, bro. That wasn't Billy Clyde, Frank. Relax with that. So I'm just saying, that's the kind of stuff that I say, man, you gotta eat, man. I don't care what it is. Whatever they fix, I'm eating, homeboy. That is the most disrespect, because I'll tell, when I say, listen, and what I start doing is, listen, you do not have to cook for us. Do not cook. And when you say don't cook, they gonna cook more. They're gonna cook more. I'm telling you. And there's nothing more unsettling to be the only, to be everybody in the room black and one white person, and everybody got a spoon and a bowl, and that person doesn't. You got the great ones know how to do it, man. The dudes like Barry Switchers, the great ones, they know how to do it. They'll sit there and eat them chili beans and that rice and that cornbread, and they will sit there and tell stuff. I'm just telling you what you're dealing with, and I'll try to prepare coaches. Hey man, let me ask you a question. If you can't sit there and eat their food, how can you teach their kid? Like, why would a parent do that? And you know parents still send their kids to coaches like that? The same way I look at this, I would tell white coaches. Again, I get it. I'll never forget this. I'm not going to say where I was. Prominent coach I work for. We're at a meal, and it's a huge table. And the kids are there using the N-word like crazy. You know, you've been in a situation, Jimmy, you're at the game, them young kids start saying, like, they just talking just reckless. And as an older African-American, you're sitting there going like, hey, man, I want to go over there and snatch them little dudes. Like, man, what the hell is wrong with y'all? The part where the black folks feel uncomfortable. That's how kids talk today. They make black folks feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Forget about rap and all that. And I said to the coach, I said, hey man, let me ask you a question. Why do you let them? You know they shouldn't be talking like that. Why do you just let them do that? Because here's what I do know: when they don't do what you say on that court, you cuss them out like crazy. when they don't, run the play, or they don't respect you or say things that you want them to say or communicate, you call them the sorriest dudes in the world, and you don't play them, knowing that they dreams depend on playing. But when they do stuff like that, you get silent. Why? Well, I feel uncomfortable. You don't feel uncomfortable demeaning them and telling them, you know what? You don't feel uncomfortable doing that. But when it's something that could, right, affect their future because they're talking in a divisive way in front of the wrong people, you don't feel the need to say anything about that. Because you know what? That doesn't factor into your money. You see what I'm saying, Chichi? That's what people don't understand what's going on out there, bro. And I don't have a problem saying that to a coach. Hey, homeboy. Hey, man. Yo, man. Don't let them talk like that, man. I'm not saying you got to say you understand. Hey, guys, there's certain language. It's like inside voice, outside voice. Hey, man, there's certain things, man. That's just inappropriate. I'm not telling you guys how to talk. It's just inappropriate, man, for where we are right now. I'm talking about on an official visit in front of a big restaurant in front of everybody. The whole thing. I'm sitting there going like, hey, what the hell? You know, I was about to go in and they one of my kids, man, I will smack you if I ever hear you doing that again. This is the kind of stuff that's going on out there when your kids are being recruited, man. I got a million stories about how stuff went left in recruiting or how things go right that people don't understand. And parents, again, they just so happy to be at the party, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? They don't care if they're selling Jim Jones punch. If they're making Jim Jones punch, they just want to get in the party. Like, yo, man, what you doing? Don't go to that party. That's Jim Jones, man. Man, they playing banging music in there, though, man. This is the place to be. Oh, boy, that's Jim Jones. You know what they serving in there? You know what I'm saying? Like we just gotta be wise, man, and really be, intentional about, like you mentioned a minute ago about Division I. You just said a minute ago a mouthful. That's about 70 kids Division I scholarship, and it ends up being about 200. You know what that tells me? That people should start at the bottom, bro, and not at the top. They make sure they got the bottom covered first.
Exactly.
You know what they do, Jimmy? You know what they do? Parents wait until the end of the day, and so do kids. They wait till the end. They don't take care of the academics, and then guess what? When they find out they're not getting a scholarship, they mad at everybody. Well, man, you should have told me, bro. You thought you were going to be a Division I player. You thought now you don't have the grades to go to Division II because the Division II schools are academic schools. They can't get you in the school. They can't get you the money. Because you didn't take care of your business. Because you thought you only had to get a 700 on the SAT. Because you thought all you needed was a 2-3. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. When a lot of kids get left behind, it's because they don't realize in the 9th grade they start tracking you. In the 9th grade. Do you know at Cal Berkeley, this is the first time it ever happened to me. At Cal Berkeley, they don't start counting your grades until the 10th grade. They don't even count the 9th grade. You can be a straight A student in the 9th grade, don't matter. It won't help you one bit. It won't help you one bit. It's from the 10th grade on, and it's really a 10th and 11th grade they start tracking you. So what I'm saying is, as soon as they get to the 9th grade, parents, you need to be dialed in some academics right away. And the last thing I'll say is, before I let you, what's wrong with going to Harvard? Jimmy, is something wrong going to Harvard? I'm just serious. Is there something wrong going to Princeton? Like, is that like a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to say I want to go to Berkeley or Stanford? I want to know if that's a bad thing. I want to go to Northwestern. I want to go to Vanderbilt. Is that a bad thing? Like, is being smart a bad thing? You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, I'd like to challenge people to understand, like, how about we have a whole bunch of African Americans that say, you know what, in this decade, how many kids can we get to Morehouse, to Howard, to Northwestern, to Stanford, to the most elite academic institutions, instead of us thinking about let's make the next LeBron. Like really transform, I think, because if you do that, that's also going to transform parental behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you're going to have to care more about the other stuff than you do buying Kevin Durant or you do going to Vegas and worried about paying to get in the tournament. It's going to transform or paying the trainer. Because now you're paying the tutor, and now instead of paying for him just to go to camp at Eastern Invitational, you're paying him to go to spelling bee camp, you're paying for him to go to math camp. Or you're paying, it's going to transform the way parents handle things. I want to see that groundswell of African Americans that start to think that way. I didn't say you couldn't play Division I, but Vanderbilt's Division I. You know what I mean? Like, I love to see that start to happen. It's not common, trust me. If you're a parent and you're doing that, guess what? You're a unicorn. You're a unicorn. It's uncommon. You're right, Doc, but I'm being real intentional here, Doc.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm being real intentional because I know what the elite of the elite are doing. You're right. No disrespect to other universities. I'm Princeton. I'm mentioning the elite with billion-dollar endowments. I'm just saying, what if that's our mindset? Not saying that everybody gonna get there, but if they don't get there, we're gonna get damn near close to some other stuff. I mean, is that Jimmy, you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, like I said, I mean, I can stand here right now and tell you guys right now today, with RCS Sports, it would probably add a whole different dynamic to the recruiting level of a lot of players if we assembled, let's say, the all Greater Houston academic first team.
Yeah.
Here's where the problem comes in. And I teetered with this about 15 years ago or so. Before social media. Here's what happened. And it kind of plucked the air out of my balloon. I had to send this, I contact people, and I say grassroots coaches first, because it was during the grassroots season going into the high school. Let me know your smart kids, so to speak. Give me their GPA, you know, whatever, you know, they got over a 3.5 or whatnot on the 4 scale, over a 4 or 5 on the 5 scale, whatever. And then what happened is the guys would send me names. Then I would contact the high school coach, and ask him the same question. The high school coach named on about 3 or 4 kids out of the first 10 didn't even have that kid on his list of the smart ones. So that means the grassroots coach had been lying to me. You fabricating the GPAs, which you really didn't even know the GPA because you was grad. You ain't got permission to go see the transcript to get their core at that time. So that was a thing that knocked the air out of my sails on that. Because I learned, just like, and understand, that was lying on GPAs back then. They lie on offers now.
You might have to deal with high school coaches on that one instead of AAU.
Yes. And then high school coaches, think about this now. You're dealing with the laws. Right? You're dealing with the laws. The high school coach is not at liberty to release the academic, that core GPA to you without permission. So you're going in a different territory. So what do you do?
He can suggest certain kids are good. He can suggest that.
Yeah, but then you got to fact check in the same sense.
You the fact check. You don't have to fact check.
So in order to fact check, that means how do you fact check? Either you got to either trust that high school coach's word, or you got to see the report card,
or the parent,
or the transcript, or you got to see that still, because the parent can tell you. See, they can tell you the actual the cumulative GPA, but you need the core GPA. And the difference between the two is what, Chris?
Oh, it's very different because they don't count, like people could have a 3.8 and then they got 4 A's in health and gym. You know what I'm saying? And stuff that don't factor into your core. You know, 4 English, 3 math, 2 science, 2 social science all day long. But Jimmy, I was gonna make one last point. That I have a buddy, a colleague that I do some consulting with. He's an agent now. And I remember I said, man, what got you to become an agent? And he's one of those guys that probably should come on the Chop Show when they say, man, I was unbeliever in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was one of those guys that was really good when I was young. And guess what happened? I stopped growing. But I thought I was super good. My dad training me every day. And then my uncle said, hey, man, take that dude to DC and show that dude how really good that he thinks that how really good he is compared to guys that are just ridiculous. Take him to DC, dude can't even get off the bench to play. The kid, think about it. He had to make a decision. But only because someone was in his orbit or his concentric circle that said, hey, man, listen, you're not going to the NBA, dude. So the dude, guess what he did? He stopped focusing on basketball, still played, and then ended up going to Morehouse, right? Not playing basketball. Ended up going to Harvard, right? Getting a grad degree, and ended up going across the street to Harvard Law School, and now he's at a credentialless, guys, a credentialless school. They don't ask for GPAs when you got that H on. They don't say, hey man, what number class you graduated Harvard? You just say I went to Harvard. But this dude was a summer basketball dude with a crazy PTW dad, but he had an uncle that said, hey man, he had somebody that said, because he was willing to listen, and he showed him, bruh, this is how it works. But the kid had to what, Jimmy? Listen. And then guess what? If you ask him today, he said, thank God for my uncle. Because if it was left up to my own devices, I don't know where I'd be right now. That is how this thing happens. Somebody's got to be in the room. There's got to be a champion in the room that talks you out of nonsense. Not dream killing. That can make you understand there's a devil on one side and there's an angel on the other side. But at the end of the day, God has no power over what? Free will. You have to sit there and make a decision. But a lot of parents can't make the right decision. You know why, Jimmy? Because they don't have all the facts. They don't have all the information. So they do. Why is my son not getting recruited? The dude on my son's team get recruited. Well, why is he ranked higher than my son? Worry about stuff that don't matter, man. Like, talking about that. That has nothing to do with nothing. College coaches don't care about all that stuff y'all talking about. But what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? And it's just it amazes me, man. Like I said, like I know you don't do that class, that symposium anymore, but it's almost like there's something that needs to be done. You know, you can't learn this watching First Take. You can't learn this watching Skip and Shannon. This is the Underground Railroad, and so many kids or just the parents are losing their mind, and they putting a whole lot of, man, we're talking about billions of dollars going into this game that people are spending. And a lot of kids are being left behind because, again, it's always going to be somebody not get opportunities because there's only so many scholarships you're giving away. That's just what it is. But to your point, and people really knew this, that there are hundreds of millions of dollars in scholarships. There are billions of dollars in academic scholarships and grants. The same way these people are being evicted from their homes in New York, they don't realize that there's hundreds of billions of dollars in programs, and all they got to do, what, Jimmy, is sign up for it if they knew it. And they won't be evicted. The federal government will pay their rent for them. But they don't know it until what? Until they get evicted. It's the same thing with this. If you were a parent and you were smart, you would make sure your kid gets all the best grades to make sure that even if he does not make it, he can sign up for all them grants and stuff and still go to school for nothing. But you're relying on that damn ball for everything, and only so many are going to get through. It's just amazing to me, man. That's why it's needed, man. But you know, at the end of the day, if everybody think they love ball, then have at it. Have at it. Have at it.
Hey, man. We got the park today, and it's one thing about it, guys. This is not meant to depress you. It's meant to wake you up and be able to just start applying some of the things that you get. Everything is not going to stick on the same day. Everything is not going to hit it out the park with you. But there are certain things, because some people may not even know where to start. And that's the part. It's like cleaning up a house. All the rooms are messed up. What room do you start cleaning first? Well, hell, that's each his own. But, you guys, this process, it can work for you. If you input equals output. If you think I'm joking, we want to give a congratulations to somebody on the feed right now. Or Chris in the boom room, and that's Dr. John Newsom, and which he mentioned earlier, and Dr. Newsom this past weekend, right? His son, over the weekend, his son, who's not didn't get recruited by Division I schools, but he still stayed course to the process, and he acknowledged that he took plenty of notes from the chop shop. And in taking those notes from the chop shop, what he did was he applied some of them in the process. Rather than waiting on a Division I bus that doesn't look like it's going to come riding down his street, his son has a full finance, pretty much fully financed ride to play basketball at Barclay College, and which is awesome. It's awesome. And guess what? His son gets the chance to play basketball. The dad gets to be proud. And now they can go and they have a bunch of time to get that admissions process completed. You got to send paperwork off. If you wait until the spring to do this, the odds are stacked against you because a lot of that grant money has already been given out.
You gotta understand the rules.
You see, it's October now. He's on the front end of getting some of that grant money. So that means now that school can patch some of this stuff together and they make it work. It's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing. Then you look and say, well, man, how does this work? Well, that's all we hear you talk about is Division I. Understand something. That's all I get paid to talk about. See, this stuff you're getting, you're not paying for this. Did we have a membership cup that went around the chop shop for you guys to drop something in? We just asked you to go to our YouTube page and become a subscriber. That's free. This is free game. And that you're getting here. Most of the non-Division I schools in the United States of America, they have a pre-existing, most of them, a pre-existing myth that they can't afford guys like me to supply them intel or Alan Branch. That's the myth along many. I'm telling you guys the truth. So therefore, most of the subscribers won't be non-Division I schools.
Absolutely.
But most of the kids that can help them, especially like a city like H-Town or DFW, the ones who recruit those areas get to win. Your ex-boss, Billy Clyde Gillespie, ended up going and taking Ranger, and they was number 1 in the country from recruiting nothing but Texas.
That's right.
Nothing but Texas. And you see these schools they excel at the non-Division I level. They go with the talent. So understand, guys, it can happen for you. You just can't wait on nobody else to go and start cleaning up your room. You can't wait on nobody else to start cooking your food. You got to do this stuff yourself. And you got the power to do so. We got the chop shop right here. You ask questions. We try to address most of your questions that you have on it and you put on the chop shop. We try to address it. And that's the thing. So it's non-Division I coaches, it's no problem. If you got a problem, you get to a point in the recruiting and you don't know, guess what? Just because the coach ain't a subscriber to mine or Alan Branch's, just because Chris Walker may or may not know him, that doesn't mean we're not equipped or professed in enough to answer and help guide you and help you be able to combat against the elements which are fighting against you. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
All I say is the number one thing people gotta understand: when you're in the ninth grade, there ain't no phenoms in the ninth grade. The ninth grade should be about education. Set up the platform for them to be educated the right way. Make sure they're getting A's and B's and not C's. A's and B's. B's are good, C's are bad. A's and B's, and then keep that format all the way through. Sometimes they go to tough high schools. Right? They go to tough high schools where they're getting C's. Hey man, you got to think of a plan. C's count the same way. C's count the same way. The bad high school, they count the good high school. A's and B's. And then they will already Again, it's like being on the high wire act where, and you see a net. It's crazy, man. What the hell? What if he falls? What if a gnat fly in his mouth? I mean, anything can happen. And then all of a sudden, the dude's gonna die? Is that how you're gonna leave it up? Is either Division One or die? No. You make sure you got that net under you. It's still cool if you can walk across that thing. It's still cool, trust me. Nobody don't want to see you die, man. Make sure the education, make sure the format is set up for them to be successful no matter what. So if it doesn't happen, you can stick your chest out and say, you know what? We tried that Division One thing, and you can still have all your excuses. Oh, they favoritism, the coach this and coach that. But guess what you're going to have? However, but at the same time, guess what happened? You know what I'm saying? Guess what happened? Is that we made sure he was in, everything was intact education-wise, and we just got $200,000 in funding, and he can go to whatever school he wants to. We made sure. Man, I can't stand that AAU mess. But as a parent, I did my job and made sure I took care of my house and made sure my kid was prepared. That is how you want to look in the mirror as a parent. Forget about the coaching, forget about the tweeting, forget about social media. Be able to look yourself in the mirror as a parent and say, I did my job. I can't control who recruited him. I can't control who showed favoritism. I can't control who screwed him. But I can control my job. That's what it comes down to.
Hey, man. With that said, guys, you guys hold tight. We got something for you.
Hey, tell email Calvin. Calvin, you need to email me, man. Email me. I need to holler at you. And you know what? Stop hating on the Cowboys. Can we play that song again before we go? Can you play it one more time? Crank that thing one more time. Crank it one more time out the way.
Guys, you hold back before we get ready to land the plane. Before we land the plane, I'm going to show you guys something. But first, I got to give you guys, this. You guys hold tight. Don't forget this, hold tight. I give you this.
H-Town, let's get down at the Aldine ISD M.O. Campbell Center. High school boys basketball season opener powered by Boost Mobile. November 12th and 13th, 12 games in 2 days, including the Shadow Creek Sharks, will battle the nation's #1 ranked public school, the Duncanville Panthers. Undefeated state champ Beaumont United will take on Cy Ranch. November 12th and 13th at the M.O. Campbell Center, the season opener powered by Boost Mobile. For
Welcome back to the Chop Shop, your midday sports happy hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. What's in your cup right now? We got Jim Hicks alongside Chris Walker dropping nuggets all over the place in regard to the recruiting process. I hope you guys enjoyed that convo. Hope you was unselfish enough to share the show to your timelines, to your groups, to your pages, and whatnot. And understand something. Before we get up out of here, first, the question I think Rod Wells wanted us to address. The NCAA released their AP poll for the preseason for college basketball. We will address all of that on tomorrow. The AP poll, we're going to address that tomorrow. Also, Major League Baseball has. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that tomorrow. Astros are in action this evening, 7 p.m. Game 3 of the Boston Red Sox. It should be a very, very interesting game. And that's the only game in action tonight. The Dodgers and the Braves, that series will transfer over to California on Tuesday. But tonight, Astros and Red Sox tonight. Seawalk, we're going to get it in and fellowship. We got Monday Night Football, and of course we have the Astros. So we got to get somewhere where there's two screens at. Where there's two screens. You're still in H-Town. We'll get two screens. Well, somebody got dual screens inside my man cave. But we're going to take this thing somewhere in Houston so we can fellowship a little bit. Engage in some social consumption. That's what we're going to do this evening. But first and foremost, what you
watch Monday Night Football, TC. It's Monday night.
We not at 1,000 subscribers yet. You can't watch Monday Night Football with us. You can't get on our tab. Some of y'all are trying to get on our tab. That's what it is, Seawalk. They want to get on our tab. Hey, we ain't paying. We not buying your drinks until you get to 1,000. Then I'm buying the bar. We get to 1,000. Everybody, I'm gonna do like Festus did on Gunsmoke. I'm buying everybody in the saloon a shot.
And listen, I can't. And whoever gets to 1,000, I'm gonna tear their ass up on the chop shop. Please, I can't wait. It's gonna be like a pig to the slaughter. I can't wait.
So now, for those who missed the first part of the show, Chris Walker, of course, behind me is the Dallas Cowboys, and they won again. So you know he let me have it. Had a pull to Chris Walker. He didn't even show up to work today because he didn't want to. So I got to take it for him. I'm gonna take one for the team. I co-signed along. But guess what? Chris Walker. Here's what he did. Here's what he did.
Robert E. Lee High School. Come on, man. Can you play it?
Yeah. Quiet. Quiet. Quiet.
Lord have mercy.
Quiet. Now, it's been quiet on this phone. I ain't heard from nobody in a while. Where did they go? I don't know. But we been whooping ass for sure. That's for sure. It's been quiet.
Guys, we're going to slide down Dino's back today, man. And y'all can do this thing. Thanks so much for everybody tuning to the Chop Shop. Hey, man, hope you bear with me in my audio difficulties. Once again, we definitely appreciate it. And, you guys coming in with us. It's been a great show, great convo. And that's some of the stuff you guys missed in the first half of the show. Once again, that's D. Fillmore. He's from Houston. Robert E. Lee High School graduate. Is now known as Wisdom High School. He made that video. Felt good about himself after the Cowboys won. He's a barber in Houston. I just hope like hell he doesn't really look like that. God, that looks kind of like a mask. I hope like hell.
That's a mask.
I hope like hell that ain't how he looks in person. Because that could, you know what, we'll speak on that later. But anyway, guys, make sure you share the show on the way out the door. And for Chris Walker, it's Jim Hicks. We up out of here. Peace. Thank you. Chop shop.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm on